everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All. I am your host, Cody Lashley, 1/4 of the C3 Panthers Podcast, coming back to you with another show that is for the fans, by the fans. If you would like to join this edition of the Free for All, the link to join has been pinned to the YouTube chat. It is also in the description of the YouTube and the Facebook video. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, boys. Let's roll. I'm joined by another 1/4 of the C3 Panthers Podcast. You know him, you love him. It's the Bat Daddy. Greg, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? You know what's funny is you talk about that, and me and you make half of the C3 OG show, but I feel like even with that, we have strong numbers in this show right here, and maybe the same kind of power. Like, we have some serious fandom in this show, and I love it. And honestly, I feel better about the Carolina Panthers right now than I have in years. I am on such a high with the Carolina Panthers at the moment. The signings, the future, man, I am so excited, and I want to talk with everybody here about this.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, I could not agree more. Not only do we have an incredible cast of Friday OGs, but dude, right now there's I don't remember a more exciting time in Panther Nation, dude. It's incredible right now. And speaking of some of those familiar faces that we know and love, it's Panther Pickle. Kenneth, how are you, man?
What's up, guys? I'm doing really good today. Off this weekend, so I can't complain. I turned the big 5-5 Sunday, and I'm wanting that draft tab.
Double nickel.
Yeah, baby. That's a good number, Pickle. That's a good number.
10 more years, and I'm going to retire.
Sounds like a good year to win a Super Bowl. That's all.
Yeah, it does.
Just saying, sounds like a good year. That sounds
good. That sounds real good.
It definitely does. Hey, I wouldn't doubt it, man. We have the squad right now, man.
Yeah.
Number one pick coming at quarterback, a dynamic offensive line. We got some great weapons. We ought to have a fantastic show today. Next up, you know him. He's the runner of Panthers Central Podcast. It's my man, Anthony. Anthony, what's up, dude?
What's going on, boys? Nothing much. Just watching some Family Guy, and I can't stop laughing at Cody in a Falcons jersey. But yeah, pretty much nothing else, man. We're still debating these two quarterbacks. It's kind of giving me headache at this point. But yeah, I'm here, so let's do it.
Is that a Yankees hat?
Yeah, man. I'm from New York, so
Aaron Judge, baby, that first pick.
Yeah, man.
Go.
He's awesome, man. But I do care more about the Lakers tonight, but I'm here for the fucking Panthers, so let's get it.
That's right. Next up, we are joined by the present and the future of Panther Nation. It's our boy Connor. Connor back on the Free for All. What's up, dude?
Not much. I've had a pretty good day, except for the past 30 minutes. Where in Madden, I lost the game. In fact, I got so mad I rage quitted. I threw a total of 6 interceptions. I had every chance in the entire world to win. This guy choked, but I choked harder. And now my computer won't turn on. So
no.
Damn, y'all are having a mid-off, huh?
I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm 33 years old, and I still do that. So yeah.
I played Madden yesterday, and my corner, Stephon Gilmore, got 7 interceptions.
There is almost no worse feeling in the world than rage quitting a game of Madden. I'm telling you, it is terrible.
Wait till you play Elden Ring, my boy.
You want to strangle somebody when you have to rage quit. I hate rage quitting a game of Madden. That's why I don't play Madden competitively anymore.
And I can't scream, but my inside is like screaming.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah.
Also, Linkin Park stuff.
Hey, next up, you already hear him. That's the man, Jay Stubbs. Jay Stubbs, what up, brother?
Happy Friday, everyone. Just heads up, tomorrow, don't fall for the April Fools. Don't be calling the C3 hotline saying, what the hell? We changed the first pick. What the hell? Don't get called. It's just pranks. But let's get it.
Damn it, Jay Stubbs. You already ruined my plan, man. What the
Yeah,
I gotta get a plan to play my sister tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow everybody should be vigilant. It is April Fool's, and those are the days to get tricked, especially by really big fools like White Chocolate Espresso. What's up, fool?
What's up, bruh? How you?
I'm chilling, dog. I mean, it's honestly pretty ugly and something that looks pretty stupid. And we look pretty stupid for having it.
I just want to say, the baseball season started, so I just want to say, let's go Expos.
So what?
All right. Okay. If you say so, bro. Next up, we've got my man Evan Sports Talk. What's up, Evan?
What's up, guys? Anthony, we can agree on one thing, and that's for the Lakers to win.
That bad
Wow,
ball
rock
sucks.
on. Rock on. All right. So, everybody, if you would do so, if you enjoy the content, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Gentlemen, you already know we're going to be debating Stroud and Young and the quarterbacks forever. But real quick, I wanted to start on a little bit of a lighter note and get everyone's opinion on these brand new draft hats for the Carolina Panthers. And just tell us what you think. Pickle said he's already going to get his. But if I'm being honest, these are probably the best that the draft hats have looked in a long damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
really
it.
like them.
Definitely. I like the blue one personally the best. I
Yeah,
like the
this
all
one.
blue.
Yeah, these are cold. I like these. How many people plan to cop one of these hats right here, man?
I don't
I got
want the
enough
flat
hats
bill,
for
but I want
Oh, yeah.
the ball cap.
Yeah, the ball cap.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
the one I want.
I like the
is
white one though.
it's curved. The bill's curved. That flat hat like that. That's for y'all young fellas.
Not anymore, bro. I don't wear no fitteds.
So
I mean, hey, man, fitteds are all the rage, man. You're not hip and fly unless you have a fitted, dog.
yeah, well, that's nice.
That's true.
I'm
Yeah,
too
yeah.
fat to be fitted.
Pickle, don't say it, man. No, you're not.
Look,
No, you're not. But yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Cody, I just want to say, like, I do like this, but I'm not gonna lie, man. This makes me feel old because I remember my parents telling me things that I would grow out of and things that I would think were cool that were new. This looks exactly the same almost as like a 97 Carolina Panthers hat with the new logo on it. Don't get me wrong, it looks good. I like it.
Yeah.
But it's not new. This is nothing new. This is a repeat
It's
of
vintage.
like 1997, 98
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers hat.
Gotta
with the new
admit though,
logo.
Greg, vintage is kind of in style now. So
Vintage is always in style to the new generation because vintage is what their parents loved. So like vintage is always in style, for at least 2 or 3 generations. But this
I don't know, man.
it looks good. I would wear this. I want to. I might buy this, but it's nothing special to me beyond. I've seen this before.
That white one's dope though, bro.
It looks good. Yeah, you're right. It does look good.
I mean, they do have that throwback vibe to them, and I kind of think that's why people like them.
I call them the
But-
Don Capers.
Yeah, and the Dom Capers, how he's back on the team, so that's perfect.
He's
I
got
don't know,
his vintage hair.
Yeah, right. It's probably not his original hair, but it's definitely someone's
It's
hair.
close. It's the closest it's been.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm into them. I think that these are pretty cool. If I say so myself, Connor, what'd you think about them?
I'm gonna be kind of honest.
All right,
Love
be all the way honest.
I would rather have I would almost rather have the older logo on them. Like I actually do think that would look better on it.
Oh, you mean the one the
Fat Panther.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Cody, can I share something real quick? Let me share this real quick. Yeah.
I'm not selling
So
them
I
for
want
a
to share. I
dollar.
want to share this 1997 Carolina Panthers hat right
Oh,
here,
okay.
and I just want you to compare that to what we have right now. I'm not, like I said, I like the hat, but it's for me, it's not anything new. Like it's just a Panthers emblem behind it, or what? So you just slap the new logo right here.
Dude, that was even better, bro. I can't even lie. That thing's sweet.
Hey, that's $40 on eBay.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fire.
send you the link. So,
I'm
yeah,
with
I mean, so for me, it's not that impressive. Like, it looks good. I like it. I'd wear it, but it's not anything that's like blowing me away. I've seen this before.
You know what this means? Dome Capers is in charge of the Panthers shop.
That might mean it's
Oh,
like
That's
God.
what it is.
Is that his job
Dome
title?
Capers is in charge of the store. Maybe they give us 1997 pricing.
yeah.
Is he the greeter at the store? He's so old.
Hey, y'all, cover me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
All right.
He
I
don't
will
make no
say-
hats, bro. He's good on hats, bro. He got the hair.
Dude, the beanies the Panthers makes are better than the hats, in my opinion. Like I have like 4
Yeah.
Panthers beanies. Those are nice. But the hat, I mean, it's all
I got
right.
every Greg Olsen beanie, and they're all dope.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same. Yeah.
And like I
Those
said,
are
don't be
awesome.
wrong. This looks cool. I'd wear it. I like it. It's just not anything really new for me. But hey, real quick, while we're talking about that, and Cody's gone for a second, I want to ask, like, what is Dom Capers' role?
I
Like, I
don't
know
know.
he's been given a title, but
He's
this
the
sounds
senior
like, this
defense.
sounds
He's a
like the
senior
government or the
defensive.
post
Hey,
office.
isn't that
Yeah.
isn't that a different blue though, bro?
I believe Dome Capers is just basically the assistant to Rivero.
But
I
what
really
does
believe
he do?
he's just a guy that a Rivero goes to. I
Rivero.
don't exactly know
Who?
details.
Ivero?
You mean right?
Rivero.
Right?
He's the guy that Evero's
That-
going to go to for ideas and stuff. He's not like
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
any plays or anything. He's
Yeah.
just like, oh, what about this formation or what if we change something here?
To me,
What
I think
what
he's
I
the
would
team
like to
store
do-
greeter.
What I would like to do on game days, I would love, if I'm the coach, I would love to put him and Caldwell in the booth, and those would be my coaches in the booth. As far as replay coaches and, someone to advise him when he needs to challenge a play.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
agree.
why
I
are you
like
paying
that
him that
idea.
much money? I'll do that for $100,000 a year.
Yeah, but
$100,000 a year. I'll do that.
yeah,
You ain't
they
gotta pay him
may
that
not
money.
be paying them less.
Don Capers is gonna implant the hat on his head permanently next.
Dude's so old.
They're not
he's
paying him. He
doing
just
this for-
showed up one day. I think.
Yeah, like he's
Is that
so
what it
old. He's just doing this for fun, just to pass some time. Like at the
Yeah.
He's
end
got
of the day.
dementia. He thinks it's 1997. Where's Sarah Collins?
All right, we'll take the hat off there for right now. Okay, so I don't know where Cody wants to go with this, so I'll start a conversation here. Look, I'm just going to open up the question that everybody's asking, that we've been asking,
damn it.
1,000 times, and I know people are going to hate it. But based on what we've learned from the last week, which really, to me, nothing has changed. Like, where is everybody at with this? Actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask that. That's old and tired. How about this?
Yes.
How
I
about
knew he
this?
was gonna ask.
What are you going to do if Carolina drafts AR-15?
Yes,
Number
there
one.
we go.
So
Austin
anybody wants to
Reeves?
take it. What are you
Number
going to do?
one?
Who's going to shit their pants if Carolina drafts AR-15?
I
Here's
honestly-
what I'm
definitely.
gonna do. I'm gonna say,
I'm gonna
Okay.
get my AR-15. You know what I'm saying?
all right, this is a new development, but we going this way. Now, that's what I'm gonna say. And then I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna slap the hell out of somebody. But
Did we
could've-
draft
we
him
could've
number
stayed at
one,
9,
or
bro.
did we trade
yeah,
back with the
I'm gonna
Colts?
call it the biggest wasted trade up that ever did trade in.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
did we
No,
trade
no.
down to get him?
No,
We could've-
yeah.
we
No,
could've
we
stayed
draft
at
Start
9.
AR
that
number one.
conversation.
Okay.
If we
you
done traded
draft-
up, we don't need to be traded down.
No, I was thinking about this too, and I said this in the free for all chat. Like,
Hope for the
if
best.
you trade up for AR, that trade's not gonna like look good until he's developed. So all the people that would go crazy, like I would go crazy myself, but then I could probably fathom the idea that they're like, all right, if they develop this dude the right way, he will be a top 5 quarterback because he does have the highest ceiling in the whole class.
And we have the weapons, like the offensive line and everything.
Yeah.
But
So-
hold on. Can I
Hell
ask,
no.
Yeah.
you say he has the highest ceiling in this whole class. So are
Yes.
you saying that he has the potential to be smarter than Bryce Young and the physical capabilities to be better than CJ Stroud all in one when you say that?
Well, I mean, you look at the development of Jalen Hurts. Well, it also depends on, that's why I said where he goes. Like Jalen Hurts isn't the smartest quarterback. He's just in a good system. He's got good players around him.
True.
You don't have to be like Cam wasn't the smartest quarterback. He was just a freak.
And to be fair, Cam only had realistically 2 or 3 really good years.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
Of his
And
whole career.
Yeah.
I love Cam. I have Cam stuff all over. I have a Cam rookie autograph. I love Cam, but I'm real
Does
with it.
Greg have
When
a
Cam
real
was
with it.
healthy, yes,
jersey
Greg,
too,
you're right.
Cody?
When he was
When
healthy.
Cam was healthy, he had
Does
good
Greg
years.
have what?
Does Greg have an Atlanta Falcons jersey too?
I have an Atlanta
know.
Falcons doormat, so people have to wipe their feet on it.
dude, if y'all didn't actually hear the story about how Cody became a Panthers fan, that shit had me dying, bro. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna say
Off
it.
the bet.
What do you think, Connor?
No.
Oh, well, I've got actually a different question that would be kind of related to this. But here's another what would you think? What would you guys think if we somehow, and I know this would never happen, but let's just pretend in a world that, I mean, obviously, again, in real
In
life,
a
that
world.
doesn't happen, but pretend like we're in a world where this could happen. What would you think if we drafted Will Anderson Jr. over any of the quarterbacks?
Hell no. What the
I
hell?
would be upset.
Connor,
I would be
I'm
very
buying a
upset.
Trevor Lawrence jersey,
I would
and I'm pulling for
I would-
Jaguars.
I would be
No.
very upset.
That would
I
be the
would
last day I
rate
beg
something if we drafted Will Anderson Jr. first overall.
Hey, yeah,
Connor-
let me
That would be
let-
crazy.
let me go ahead and welcome Noah to the stream. Noah, what's up, dude? Long time no see, man.
Hi. Please do not ever say that again. Oh my God.
Don't worry,
that just gives me nightmares.
You can say whatever you want. Don't worry about it.
Okay, real quick. Look at the CBS mock draft. What is this?
Go to the left.
Anthony Richardson, number 1. This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, they have AR going number 1.
I've been hearing all kinds of crazy stuff about that. And look, I'm
Yeah.
telling y'all.
I swear, CBS
Yeah,
and
some-
Mike
some-
Tannenbaum combined, if
some-
they did a mock
some-
draft, then this is not
Some of
this
these
is
folks on that
Clickbait.
call themselves sports analysts, the only thing they know about the Carolina Panthers is the fact they're in the U.S., they're on the East Coast, and they're somewhere in the Carolinas. And what they can read on YouTube or what they read on their prospective sites. They absolutely know zero else about the Panthers. They don't even. I kid you not. The other day I was reading an article, and the guy was talking about why Carolina should draft Anthony Richardson, because Carolina Panthers has a bad offensive line, and the fact that they haven't drafted a left tackle in years.
What?
I kid you not. In description of the article, I actually found the full on Twitter, replied and said, "Dude, do you even know what you're talking about?
Did
The
you
Panthers
follow the
drafted a
Panthers
left
at
tackle."
all?
And he replied, "Do they not still have Dennis Daly?"
What?
And I said, "Just
Oh my god.
end of
dude.
What's his
conversation.
Twitter
You're a
name?
moron.
Not Matt Rule.
I have fallen
Yeah.
into the moron trap." And I ended the whole conversation.
Hey,
Deleted it,
Oh
blocked
my
him. I'm
God.
done.
Hold up,
So-
I got one more thing. Have you guys seen Mike Tannenbaum's mock draft? That made me want to.
That dude's wrong every year, bro.
Yeah, that was.
I think he had the
And
Colts.
a lot of those
Please
guys
talk about
like
it.
that, when they do a mock draft, they put themselves as a GM over
No,
each
they get their
individual
pockets
team.
lined, my boy.
They just pick a guy they like for that team. They really don't study on the best needs for that team at the time they draft.
And you got agents,
Just like
influencing
this
them and stuff like
CBS
that.
and
Yeah,
Jalen
exactly.
Carter falling into the 20s.
It just
No,
can't be. It
Connor,
just can't
Connor,
be Will
that
Levis,
might
bro.
that might actually happen. Because
No.
he's facing a lot of issues that are not
Yeah.
related to
that far.
football.
I know he's facing issues. You know what would be hilarious is if the Raiders draft him.
Hey, let me welcome Michael Wydrick to the stream. Michael, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey man, how you doing? Hey man, how would you feel if the Panthers drafted Anthony Richardson number 1?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't be at least happy about that because I only have 2 quarterbacks on my mind right now, and it's Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. That's all I'm wanting. And
I think everyone is. Yeah.
if we can get CJ Stroud, then by golly, let us get back into the first round and get Jackson Smith Jigba.
Yeah, that's I mean, I doubt it happens, but a lot of people would be very Very interested in that. Hey, Evan, let me go to you, man. Would you be really disappointed with Anthony Richardson if he was drafted number 1?
I would say yes, because at this point I'm in the mindset of it's got to be CJ or Bryce, because I mean AR he's good and all, and if he develops right, it would be awesome. But at the same time, I almost don't want to have to wait still another year or two for us to truly have our guy.
Right.
Let's just draft CJ Young. We'll put them both in like a creation thing, and then we'll just draft them.
I got a question though. If we draft CJ or Bryce, what is your expectations for that year for him?
I think that our expectations should be high.
Yeah, dude, Vegas has us as 7.5 wins right now.
I'm not talking run the football, play good defense, throw on third down.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Anthony Richardson could do that, right? I mean,
this was potentially. I feel like we would be able to win. I mean, I'm being real. If we got CJ Stroud and even Bryce Young, I say between 9 and 10 wins. And that's like the floor, man. Do our offensive line
no less than
and
our
we still have cap room, Cody. We still got like
and we
$40
get a
million
good wide
cap room.
receiver too.
Yeah, that 100%. No, so this is from Joe Person. I believe it was Joe Person from the Athletic. He did a mock draft for the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to read you his words for pick number 1. He has CJ Stroud. He says, I really wanted to change this up and thought seriously about doing so after hearing more buzz about Young and the top pick while in Phoenix for the NFL owners meeting. But every time I tried, I just kept coming back to those pro day moments I observed between Reich and Stroud and quarterbacks coach Josh McCown and Stroud in Columbus 2 weeks ago. Maybe McCown offered to play a game of horse with Young during his pre-draft visit to Charlotte too. Reich indicated last week such friendly hoops competition might become a thing for prospect visits as they were during his time in Indianapolis. It's not just Stroud's size that gives him the edge over Young. It's his size and his accuracy, which Reich holds in high regard in his evaluations. I might flip-flop at some point over the next month, but I'm not there yet. Guys, I think CJ Stroud is the apple of Frank Reich's eye, if I'm being honest. It's just a feeling. I cannot guarantee this. I think Anthony even made the point that Fitterer, he probably likes Bryce Young better than Stroud. But do you all feel, do you agree with me that right now Frank Reich is probably favoring CJ Stroud a little bit more in this process?
Yes, because it's not even a question. Yes.
You already, because what's his name? Frank Wright, he already made it clear on interviews like he wanted a bigger quarterback. So I mean, you gotta expect that. I mean,
To be
Go ahead,
honest,
Connor.
go
Go ahead, Anthony. Whoever was going next.
Connor, you can go.
Oh, I was just. I forgot what I was gonna say. Actually,
Go ahead, Anthony.
All I was gonna say was my new answer is I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. Like I don't know.
Yeah. At this point, I think like
you hear so much from like so many different people. Like it's obviously these two, but like I don't think they made up their mind, and I think that's part of the reason. Like Fitterer definitely likes Bryce Young. I can confirm that just from talking to so many people. And Reich probably likes Stroud, so they're probably gonna have to somehow agree on that. But that's ultimately why I said let's just draft CJ Young and be happy with it. Like just put him like in a.
Okay, I've got to compromise.
Into a fusion dance, dance between the two of them.
Fusion hot.
Since nobody knows who we want. And
You're also
everybody's
Hendon Hooker,
confused,
aren't you?
let's just take Hendon Hooker,
I knew
baby. I tell you what we do. We'll take
Levis Hooker.
No, give me a second.
Levis.
Richardson.
John Cena.
Jalen Hyatt in the first round, and with our 39th pick, we'll take Hendon Hooker.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, hey,
Hendon Hooker may not be there, The Baltimore Ravens will probably draft Hendon Hooker.
Hey, Pickle, who's your college team?
Just to screw over Lamar Jackson.
Hey,
That's
Pickle,
what
here's
will
the
probably
thing.
happen.
Hey, Pickle, here's the thing real quick. Hendon Hooker probably won't be there at the first overall pick, I'm afraid. I think he's going to get signed in free agency, so I don't think that's going to work.
You don't think he's going to get drafted?
Hendon Hooker in free agency, my friend.
He's definitely going to get drafted.
He's saying he's going to be undrafted, Pickle.
Hendon Hooker would have been drafted in the first or early second round.
No, I'm saying he's so good that he won't even be available at the number 1 overall pick.
Well, hey, dude, if that's the case, we'll just sign him now.
Hey,
then
let's go.
Then we'll draft Will Anderson.
Aw, snap. Yo, we got the moves over here, y'all.
Dude, if we did have a quarterback, like I would be all in on Will Anderson because he just complete
of course
the other side of the defensive, the edge presence.
If we had a quarterback, we wouldn't have traded up.
Hey, I wanted to go back to the Bat Daddy. What would you say if we drafted Anthony Richardson number 1? Hey, you're on mute.
It's probably for the best.
Probably is, yeah. No, if we drafted Anthony Richardson number 1, look, I'm gonna pull for the guy, and he's my quarterback now. But I'm kind of gonna want to be stuck between wanting to shit my pants and punch myself in the face, like somewhere in between those two. Because I feel like if you were gonna get him, then there's no need to trade number 1 for that.
Exactly.
I don't feel like he was going number 1. And I think for me, that gives away that they're not going with him, especially because he had a dinner with him the other day and ate beforehand and didn't even fucking eat at the dinner with the Carolina Panthers. What a slap in the face.
Wild.
Like, I'm not going to, I know you guys are going to draft me, so why are we even doing this? Dude, at least take the free damn dinner. So for me.
So did y'all hear that story? They brought the Panthers brought Anthony Richardson to dinner, and Anthony Richardson didn't eat anything. Like,
he said he ate beforehand.
Yeah, he said, like, dude,
he ate with the Raiders.
I mean, he could be doing Ramadan. Who knows?
He ate with the Raiders.
But dude, you're
the
supposed
Raiders
to
talk to him before. But
you're supposed to break bread, man. Like, these are going to be your.
I mean, if you're doing Ramadan, bro, I mean,
why waste your time?
Carolina. That's all there is to it. He knows he's not going to Carolina.
Dude, also, I want to point something out.
Have a salad, though, right?
But the David Tepper and Nicole Tepper weren't even there. They didn't even show up.
Yeah,
I do want to say
this. This was all a dog and pony show.
They did have prior.
Say we did this. Check it off the box. We did this.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to say this.
They were really involved heavily with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. And I know a lot of people have their own opinions. In my opinion, Frank looked so much more personable with CJ Stroud. And yet, at the same time, they also looked like they liked Bryce Young. I think in the end, and Fitterer mentioned this, that near the day or two before the draft, him and Scott Fitterer said him and Frank Wright are going to lock themselves in a room and they're going to figure out who to take.
They're going to do a darkness retreat.
Real quick.
Darkness retreat.
We'll see the blue smoke rise in the air. If the blue smoke rises, it's yeah.
It's CJ
if the
Stroud.
black smoke rises, it's Anthony. It's Young. If the blue smoke rises, it's somebody else. Anyway.
Hey, real quick, so I've got a topic that I kind of like to bring up, Cody. It doesn't have to be right now, it's just sometime in the show. I've got an interesting video that I saw on the C3 Discord.
Okay, well, what's that? I mean, you might as well bring it up.
Okay. Well, if you could screen share this on the C3 Discord, you might have to scroll up a little bit. But there's actually a video on there, and I'm not aware of this until now. I'm not sure if anyone else was aware of this. But there's body cam footage of CJ Henderson actually getting arrested.
What is that? Hold on, let me see.
No,
dude,
I'm
that guy
not joking.
sucks.
It's actually
I was
on
gonna say that's
there.
okay.
Oh, wow,
I'm cool with him not being a Panther. To be honest with you,
Same, dude.
like,
I don't
he's
want
the weakest damn link on the team.
I
Lock him up. Lock
him
him up.
I'm gonna try and share
Is
this.
this recent
Well, I
though?
was able to show that to you, but
Or was this from last year? Didn't he get in trouble last year?
It's March 31st. This ain't April. Really.
Now I'm talking about now. This video is surfacing from Now, this video, the body cam footage was from last year, but I think it's new.
Oh yeah, this is old.
Can y'all hear
Look
this?
at that. Oh my gosh.
Is this? I've never seen this. Is this old?
This is from last offseason, ain't it? When like him and then Shaw got arrested, then he got arrested, and everybody got arrested.
Hey, look at that baddie in the car with him.
Dude, he always looks so pissed off. Like you have a baddie in the car,
He
dude.
was depressed.
You play professional football. Maybe smile a little bit.
He looks
Well, I
so
mean, to be
He
fair,
looks
he
mad.
just
People are
made
time.
different, bro. You gotta let him live.
Bro, I know that, but he's never smiled, even when he is playing.
I still
He
remember when he
sucks.
got
If I
drafted,
sucked the whole time I
and
played,
he
I
was
wouldn't
just
smile
like,
either.
"Bro."
Yeah.
But when was this? I don't even remember when this happened. Like, I didn't even hear about this.
This was last. I think this is last year because he happened. It happened just after Shaw got arrested. I think.
Well, if it's some old shit, I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
If it's some
stuff,
old shit, I'm not gonna
annoying.
dwell on
I
it.
apologize. I thought
No,
this
you're
was
good.
like-
I mean,
it
I
could
didn't
be
even
new,
know.
but I'm pretty sure it's from last year.
Yeah, I mean, I
anyway,
did.
they found a gun and marijuana in his car.
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. All right.
I'm
Hey,
sorry
so
that-
That sounds like a good time though. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah, it doesn't
I
sound
thought
too
that it
bad.
was like a new development. I didn't mean to waste your time with that. I'm sorry.
No, we're good.
Oh no,
dude.
you good, bro.
Connor,
Um,
drugs are bad.
Yeah,
Drugs
don't
are
get
bad,
into that
Connor.
stuff.
yeah, and no, drugs are bad. Hey, all right. I know people wanna talk juicy quarterback debates. So how about this one? Who's
Not
the better
really.
prospect, CJ Stroud or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor.
Because
Oh
this-
my
this-
god.
This is a stupid
getting
debate. This
fucking
is a stupid
That is a
debate.
dumb
I'm a
question.
I'm
I
sorry.
kinda feel,
And
yeah.
Rich-
This is
fan,
getting
he's bad.
stupid.
If
This-
Trevor
let
was
me
on the
say-
board, he'd be the first pick, no question.
Oh yeah, they
let
would
me
have traded
say
away
this.
Justin Fields.
Trevor
Let me
Lawrence
s-
will be third quarterback taken.
Well,
Yo,
well,
like-
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Let's be realistic here. If Trevor Lawrence was taken exactly just like he is right now, that is with his NFL experience and everything he's went through, and you put him on the draft docket, would he be first overall?
No, I'm
Would
talking
you
about
take
out
him
of
knowing
college.
how he struggled and stuff like that?
He didn't struggle last year.
He didn't struggle last
Well, before that,
He
I'm just
struggled because he
saying-
didn't even have a
I'm
real
saying
coach.
if Trevor Lawrence was the same
that's
prospect he came out of
technicality.
college with, he'd be number.
yeah.
Chicago would
and
draft him.
Yeah.
he didn't have a real coach. That's a lame excuse. They won't let us Panther fans use that for Matt Rule. I'll be damned we gonna let the Jaguar fans use it.
No, but that is a valid excuse because you saw all
When
the
you're a
players
rookie, yeah.
thrive once
That
Matt
dude was
Rule
garbage,
left.
bro.
But hold on,
Yes,
let me
but
re-
we're
wait,
not
hold
allowed
on.
to
Let me
use it as a
let me
Panther fan.
let me readjust the conversation though. If we're just talking about coming out of college, what player did you say is a better player? I mean,
Trevor.
just based on what
Then
you
who?
know.
It'll be
year.
Trevor,
Get
Cody. I mean,
out of here.
The Trevor
Hendon
Lawrence
Hooker.
or CJ Stroud?
we might have Justin Fields. We might have traded for Justin Fields, to be honest with you.
Hold
Yo,
on.
this
Cody,
CJ
is it-
Slobby Tobby has to stop, man. He's not better than Trevor Lawrence. I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
we'll go
Like,
I
ahead-
agree
I'll
with
go
that.
ahead
I don't
and
think he's a
right-
Trevor Lawrence type guy. I think he's very good and
I'll go
maybe
ahead
has
and
the potential to be as good as Trevor Lawrence in the right situation. But I don't think coming out of college, he's the same guy Trevor Lawrence was.
I could go
And
ahead
I'm
and
eating,
finish
I'm
this
eating
right
serious
here.
crow with that. Cody, you know, I give Trevor Lawrence a ton of shit for looking like a handsome
Yeah.
band member. You know, so and I still will because it's still kind of funny, right? But this guy is
What a bunch
legit.
of
I
nerds.
watched him the last half of last
Guy in
season in the
Falcons jersey
playoffs.
says it.
This guy's legit. He's going to be a
Shut up.
serious contender for the next few years.
Yeah, Cody. Who the hell did Falcons draft? How about that?
Yeah,
Yo,
you
hey,
know,
y'all don't
you're
start
the-
no
you're
dumb
the
shit. I'll
Falcons
throw y'all
fan,
out
you
of
know
here
about
so
it.
damn fast. Y'all heads will spin, bro. Shit. Don't play with
Shame.
me.
Hey, Cody, do the dirty
Shit.
bird.
No, shut up.
Do the
I'll
dirty bird.
fucking run
Do
your
the
ass
tough
over
stuff.
like Jamal Anderson. Yo, Jamal Anderson was a beast. Put some respect on his name. But hey, I mean, no, listen, they did a poll of different coaches talking about these different prospects, and there are people who believe that Trevor Lawrence is a better or that CJ Stroud is better than Trevor Lawrence. This guy says he's such a pure passer, can make all the throws. He does really unique stuff. Watch some of the stuff he did against Michigan. There are 2 plays in that game, one on a deep go ball and another on a corner route where the DBs undercut it. It's wide to the field. He just drops it in over the shoulder.
You know what?
So-
In all honesty, Cody, I can believe that because if you watch film on CJ Stroud and then you watch film on Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence's biggest problem, he came from Clemson. Okay,
Oh my
that's just his
God.
biggest problem. If he
All
would have
right.
went to a real college like somewhere else,
Okay.
The real
They were
college,
literally
like,
calling
yeah.
Trevor Lawrence the next Peyton Manning when he was
Clemson all
coming
day.
out, bro.
Clemson all
So
day.
it's
Yeah.
not even.
Hold up, don't you dare call Ohio State.
But
a real college.
they
Ohio
also
State isn't a real
said
college either.
they also said that Luck was going to be the next superstar. They were already making the bust for him to go in Canton before he was drafted.
He was pretty damn good though.
Yeah,
It was good.
injuries cost them.
Yeah, well, how was Andrew Luck injured in college?
I don't think so.
No.
Because you know why? Andrew
Sure.
Luck was 6'4" and 240 pounds. So if a 6'4", 240-pound athlete like Andrew Luck can't stay healthy in the NFL,
He had a spleen removed, didn't he?
and I really have no problems drafting Slim and Shorty.
Didn't he
This
have
is
his
my
like spleen removed or something?
That was
He had a
Tom Watson, wasn't it?
he had a lacerated kidney.
Yo, for real, this is my problem with this whole CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence thing. If he was better than Trevor Lawrence, wouldn't they be talking about this months ago?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what?
Why is this coming out now? Why is this coming out now?
Chicago would have traded
would've-
Fields and drafted Lawrence.
Exactly. You're right. You're right.
It just
And
doesn't
yeah,
make
some
sense
people-
to me.
CJA says, isn't some people saying CJ's the next Burrow, and Burrow is better
But
than
we're
Lawrence?
talking as a prospect, like hindsight's 2020.
Right.
But if he was coming out of the draft, it's no question.
Yeah.
Burrow's
Yeah.
better than Lawrence, but I'd like to see them switch and see what happens.
Yeah,
To be
man.
truly
Give
honest with you.
Trevor back to T. Higgins
To
and
be
Jamar
truly honest with
Chase.
you, I'd
Burrow
like
get
to
that
see
dog
what
in the
Trevor
nose,
Lawrence
bro.
would look
You
like
gotta
with
admit.
T.
Yeah, there's
Higgins
a difference
and
between
Jamar Chase and everything else. So
Yeah, who did Trevor have throwing the ball? Like Kirk?
Yeah.
Yeah, Christian Kirk.
Kirk
Christian
and
Kirk.
Jamar
The
Chase,
$100 million man,
receivers.
bro.
Although he
Yeah,
did
man,
have
man.
11 touchdowns or something.
Yeah, he
last
had a good
year.
year.
Now he's got
Oh,
Calvin Ridley
Not
coming in
$100
too.
million year, but he
Yeah.
had a good year.
Hey, let me welcome Eric to the stream. Eric, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
What up,
What's
Eric?
up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Barrett?
How you?
What's up, Chase Stubbs?
Yeah, man. Hey, man, let me go back and ask you the Anthony Richardson question. Would you be mad if the Panthers drafted Anthony Richardson #1 overall?
For me personally, I am open to it. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I'm one of those people that is in favor of that idea.
okay.
Okay. So you feel he has the highest upside of every quarterback in the draft, huh?
I mean, of course, Young and Stroud are the top two guys, but if they were to think outside of that realm, I personally would only rather them consider Richardson.
Okay. And I heard that, man. And listen,
Well, I understand
imagine how we would feel though in the next 5 years if Anthony Richardson just dominates the NFL, and then it's hindsight 2020. It's
I-
like
be
you
all
had
right
the
with it.
opportunity to draft that guy #1. Let me tell you how I
I'll be
feel.
all right with it.
I
As long as
would-
the
I would-
pick
I
hits,
would-
Cody, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, and that's what as long as I would be mad at first because I don't think that Richardson's ready right away, and I think that your turnaround is much quicker on CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young. But man, I feel like we might all think different once Anthony Richardson got to Spartanburg and started throwing some bombs to Terrace Marshall Jr. and DJ Chark and Adam Thielen.
Are any
So-
of these guys like baseball prospects?
No, they hoopers, bro. They hoopers.
Because them baseball prospects, boy, they be hitting different.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
I
man.
read that Bryce Young's first love was actually basketball. Is that not true, Anthony?
Yeah,
You know that?
it was, and he can.
That's
hoop.
what I thought. Yeah. Real quick, we have 127 people watching and 48 likes. What y'all don't know where that like button is, y'all? Come on, hit that like button. Damn
Hey.
Atlanta Falcons wannabe lovers.
You know what
Hit
that
that
sounds?
damn like
That's
button.
Cody.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like that's a subscriber shamed. 129 people watching. 4 thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell for every
But-
single C3 Panthers podcast goes
You need
live.
that. You need that Game of Thrones. Shame.
No,
Shame.
man. I know.
Shame.
I do. I definitely do.
I think Cody's ashamed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, y'all better stop minding your P's and Q's because I'm gonna start dropping some people out of here like a real dictator, you know?
Like a real Falcons fan.
No, like a real Panthers fan. See, look. How about you might need to go and time out for a minute. Get your ass out of here, boy. Shit. The hell you thought?
I got the power. Right there you go, bro. I got you.
Ah,
there you go, bro. I got you.
You traitorous bastard.
Heel turn.
Hey, Cody, you know
Damn
what that was? You know what that was? That was real dirty of you.
Oh, God. I swear, I'm never gonna leave this town. But
I'm saying
yeah,
this is a fact, Cody. You never catch me in a non-Panther jersey, bro. I'll tell you that for a fact.
Well,
but when you're a kid, you can't help
man,
that shit, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was young and dumb, bro. I didn't know no better. But hey, man, I can't help it. I was born and raised, you know.
So you're from Atlanta?
Yeah, I was born in Lawrenceville, Georgia, man.
Oh, welcome to where the players played.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. I was literally like 8 years old when the Falcons.
And your family's from New Orleans?
Yeah, dude. So check that shit out.
All
My family's
NFC South.
Yeah, dude,
your family's the NFC South, bro.
Yeah, man. My whole family is the NFC South.
And they from Tampa?
No. I mean, I've met.
But they always wanted to go.
Tampa, but I don't know, man. So what you want to talk about, dude? There's really no news to like really go around, man. I know one of the things that we've been thinking about. Oh, how about this? What role does Thomas Brown, our new offensive coordinator, play in the quarterback discussion? Because some people were saying that Josh McCown, his voice might matter even more since he might be here longer than Thomas Brown, because Thomas Brown might be a one and done. You know what I mean? He might go and be a head coach for some team next year.
I'm not familiar with him. What's the story?
That's not completely well. Josh McCown got a head coaching job from the Texans, remember? So like it's kind of 50-50.
Did he really?
If you're asking me,
they wanted him, I think.
Yeah, they wanted him, but like that's what I'm saying. Like if you want to be,
and they got shamed.
So if you're asking me who has more input, an offensive coordinator or a quarterbacks coach, I'm going offensive coordinator. Because even if that guy is not going to be here for more than a year, he still sets that foundation for the quarterback to go through the rest of his career. That's just my opinion, though.
And we got Frank Reich, regardless.
A quarterback coach just helps whatever quarterback's there. They don't install the offensive game plan or anything like that. So they don't figure out what the strengths and weaknesses.
I guarantee you, Frank Reich has the 90%, say of the quarterback.
Probably.
Well, now Frank Reich said that Thomas Brown is actually designing the playbook.
Just like Andy Reid said that your boy's designing a wink, nudge, nudge.
Well, you know what? We do have one advantage for us personally, and a lot of people may not like this or agree, and I respect either one. And don't take this as being mean, but give us the fact that Thomas Brown is a certain color of skin. A lot of NFL owners don't seem to want to hire them good quality individuals, so he may be here for a while.
And if he does go, we get a draft pick. So,
no, they got to be here 2 years. They got to be here
2 years.
We can all agree. We can all agree. At least it's not Ben McAdoo.
Well, you're right. Too. You're right. But you know what? At the same time, though, even let's just say Thomas Brown gets a head coach job, and then good for him. But we've got plenty of guys underneath him that could take that job and run with it.
Yeah, Deuce Staley.
Yeah,
Deuce Staley, Josh McCown.
And I don't think he wants to leave because
I don't think any team wants to see us in a coach. Like if all the coaches played against other teams, but we'd fucking win, bro.
Yeah, I think so too.
Good question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let's just say hypothetically that now this is a different question. Dante Jackson gets injured this season. Do you guys think we should trade him for next season, or just keep him on the roster and see what happens next season?
What would you guys do?
He's
If-
gonna
if
get
he-
hurt. That's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
he's going to get hurt, and I don't believe anybody's going to trade for a hurt corner.
Yeah,
Especially
you just
somebody
keep
who
him.
can't
It's
stay
good to have
healthy.
corner depth. We don't have any corners
So
anyway, to be honest.
yeah. I'll look and see how his contract lasts, but I believe we'll be all right if we release him next year.
This is
We
my
restructured
opinion.
him, Cody.
I would
So
take
what?
a 50% Dante Jackson over a 120% CJ. Henderson.
Did he restructure this
So-
year?
I think he
I'll
did
tell
last
you
year,
this.
right?
Yeah, Don.
We need a cornerback
Yeah.
too. Dante Jackson's a cornerback 3. He plays at that nickel position. I don't like Dante. I really don't. I think he's garbage. I'm sorry. Like,
He's gonna have a Deion Sanders toe when he's done, bro. That's be a fact.
yeah, and there's just too many clips of him just getting cooked. Like just cooked. And the amount of
Remember that
games I've gone
Washington
to.
game? That was
Did he
really
restructure?
Yeah.
And while I agree with you, there are a lot of films of him being cooked. There's also a ton of film of him making a great play, and that is the difference between him and CJ Henderson. Is
And we
CJ
saw-
Henderson
Yeah.
only has the cook plays. He
Yeah,
has
Greg,
no
you're
great
right.
plays.
'Cause we
Greg,
saw what
I'm
happened
That's the
without him.
difference.
Good
Mike
cornerbacks
Evans
don't
destroyed us,
necessarily
bro.
good cornerbacks don't necessarily get all the picks. They just lock dudes down.
Exactly.
That's
Because they're usually not thrown to. 'cause they're
I
so-
personally think we beat
Exactly.
Tampa with a healthy Dante.
According to overthecap.com,
We
after
need Josh
June
Smith.
the 1st, after June, if we cut CJ, or if we cut Dante Jackson, just outright cut him, we're only going to lose about $5 million
So,
roughly.
That's not
Pickle, we did not restructure him then, right?
No, we did not. We did not.
That's
And,
a sign right there,
yeah,
guys.
but if we just keep him on the roster and next year we cut him, then we'll save $5 million to the good on the cap.
Hey,
They
what
didn't
do you guys
restructure
think
him.
about
That's kind of a
Dante
telltale
Jackson?
sign.
No, after the 2024 season, his contract is void.
Yo, if Scott Fitterer can get Cam Smith with our second round pick, I'll forgive
Yes.
him for the Gilmore.
yes.
Give me
Yes.
two
How
South
about
Carolina
Johnny?
corners.
How about what's
Is
his
he
name?
good?
How about Julius?
Oh, yeah.
Brent in the
You
second
said Sam
round?
Smith?
Julius
Cam
who? Who'd you say,
Julius
Connor?
Brent, that guy out of I believe
Julius Brent.
Kansas State.
Oh, corner.
I like
Yo,
him.
Who?
You know
Yeah,
who
he's
we
pretty good.
need to sign? This is off topic. Bring back Jadeveon Clowney for a year. He plays
Hell
in 3-4.
yeah.
He
I
brings
think I'm
plays.
good
I don't
on
care
him
what
now,
he
man.
does.
I wanted
No,
him
like,
last year. I think
It's
I'm
not
good now.
it's not even just because he goes to South Carolina. He's legit
for
a
me.
good run stopper. He's legit.
Yeah, he might make the practice squad if we sign him.
Kevin, you're gonna have to
You
get
know-
more South Carolina
Oh.
He don't have to do anything. He
Fine.
can sit on the bench for all I care.
You know, I was reading the Charlotte Observer the other day, and that McKay, I think you've had him on your show, Cody. He said,
Yeah.
Mike McKay from Charlotte Observer. He was asked in the questions about pass rush, and he said the Panthers inquired about Leonard Floyd earlier when free agency started, but his price was too high, basically more than they were willing to give for that position. But the good news is he's still available, and the longer he's available, his price will go down.
Is that
And
that
since he
Colts
does
guy?
have connections currently with the Panthers staff, it wouldn't be shocking if they were still
Yeah,
in
he's from
contact.
LA, so he was with Thomas Brown and the DB's coach.
Yo, the
Who
top
was
five
that?
and the top 5 NFC QBs just came out from Adam Rank. Do you want to listen to this terrible, bizarre list?
Yes.
Bro, it's probably so bad. We
It's
got
so
Sam
bad.
Jones number
that
one.
guy's,
So
that guy's like a
bad.
moron anyway.
I know,
Should
it's
Justin
so
Fields
bad.
be on there, bro?
So-
I swear if Justin Fields is on there.
Dude. Number 1, Justin
Justin
Fields.
Fields.
Number 2, Jalen Hurts. Number 3, Dak. Number 4, Kirk. And number 5, Derek Carr.
Number 3, Dak, and number 1, Justin Fields.
To be fair, though,
We
the
just-
Number
NFC
4,
quarterbacks
Carr.
are ass.
Derek Carr?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, our rookie quarterback could easily be in that top 5 after 1 year. Like, that's how bad the NFC
No
is.
Brady. Aaron Rodgers is leaving. That's pretty much it, man.
That's
Oh,
a
Aaron
good-
Rodgers coming. No, he's leaving. That's right. Shit.
Wow.
AFC. yeah.
Going to the Jets, apparently. If I'm the Jets, I'm
see.
getting Lamar, dude. The hell with them.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Well, they're only
Excuse
going
me.
to pay like.
Yeah, screw,
But it's
screw
the
Aaron
Jets,
Rodgers.
so
I'm
what do you
getting-
know?
I'm getting Lamar.
I'm hearing they're only going to trade a third for Rodgers.
But here's the thing with Lamar and Rodgers. If you guys watch, okay, so my best friend's a Jets fan. I watched every Jets game last year. Their defense is fucking legit.
It's definitely legit. Yeah,
they made Josh Allen look terrible 2 times they played him. Like, if they get Rodgers, they can legit make a run at like at least the AFC Championship.
They can make a run with Lamar too, bro.
No, the AFC's too strong. The AFC's too strong, man.
Okay, J Stubbs, but is Lamar as a Lamar fan who wanted him on this team? Is he going to be there come playoff time?
Is Aaron?
And he costs less.
I mean, is Aaron going to change his mind? Like, you know what? I took some ayahuasca today.
You don't know that Lamar costs less.
That's the thing. Lamar is still gonna
take some ayahuasca.
Lamar's still gonna prevent you from paying guys big money like Sauce Gardner, like Garrett Wilson, all those guys. Aaron Rodgers is there for a 2-year period, and yes, he still makes a shit ton of money, but at least you know that he'll be durable for the 17-game season.
And you got a young team too.
I'm just saying from like an age thing, like I don't want 1 year of Aaron. I'd rather have 3 or 4 years of Lamar. That's all.
To be honest, I wouldn't take neither one of them. But if I was a Jets fan, I'd find me a new team to cheer for.
Well, I'll tell you this.
They can't do that.
I just would.
They're not just doing it.
Somebody like that.
Yeah, they're not just doing it because of Aaron. They're also doing it because, okay, if Jordan Love looks good this year, it'll tell you that he learned a lot from Rodgers. If Zach Wilson looks good when Rodgers leaves the Jets, it'll tell you that he learned a lot from Rodgers.
I think Zach Wilson's gone.
That's also why they're doing
it. His teammates hate him, bro. It's crazy.
He looks kind of like a douche. I'm not gonna lie.
He looks like he's scared of like black people or something.
He looks like he banged his friend's mom.
JC's mom. Hey, Scott. Y'all remember that song? That was a great song.
Funny thing is, the mom probably paid him.
Hey, Greg, I heard you gotta get out of here, man. I appreciate you. Anything you want to plug before you jump out of here, brother?
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I love being on here. And, if I can get an hour in on Friday nights, it's always good to talk Panthers football with good fans. But I got to get ready for my show and feed some animals. 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Geeks Chasing Squirrels Across the Multiverse. We're talking about Bad Batch, Mando, and Picard this week. So should be a fairly short show. We've got 3 great shows to cover. Yeah, some really good stuff. More stuff coming up. We also do comic books, movies, television shows. Everything that comes up, we cover kind of the popular geek pop culture. I guess you would say popular geek pop culture. Geek pop culture, I guess you would say.
Greg, have you seen that that one meme? It's what's his name? Keeps saying Mando.
No.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah. He's like, it's like you gotta watch it, bro. It's hilarious. Like Mando. It's like
I'll check it out.
It's like a 5-minute clip. It's hilarious.
All right.
I'll be tuning in later, Greg. Go Lakers.
I appreciate it, man.
Let's go. Go Lakers.
Greg, my brother.
Go Lakers. We got a Lakers tip off in about 6 minutes, so it's gonna be good. Above 500 tonight, y'all. We're gonna see.
Let's go Magic.
Oh yeah.
Go Celtics.
Love, brother.
One day.
All right. Later, y'all. Keep pounding. Keep striding.
Man.
Keep
striding. Next up, no, I think J Stubbs needed it now too. J Stubbs, tell him, give him some final words, man. Give him some wisdom.
Well, I'm not giving final words, but I will say tonight, the Lakers played, so I got to get off and watch that. But just remember, guys, all the shit show we had last year, we have a fresh start. We can't guarantee it's going to be good. We can't guarantee it's going to be bad, but we can guarantee it's going to be a fresh start. So
that's it.
The future is bright, so bring your sunglasses. You hear me?
Yeah. Appreciate you, J Stubbs.
Y'all be good, man. God bless.
Peace, man.
God bless, J Stubbs.
Peace and love.
See you, J Stubbs.
You know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity. I'm gonna welcome 2 people, 2 very special people to the Friday Free For All. First up, you know him and love him.
Oh shit! It's G
baby. G baby wearing the Kobe Bryant King shirt. G, what's up, dog?
Are you keep shouting too?
Hey, happy birthday, Pickle, you old fucking dinosaur. You better eat some ass tonight, boy.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, not alone.
and next up,
anyway.
and then next up, and yeah, for those who don't know, Pickle got a birthday coming up, big 55. Happy birthday to Pickle. And then next up, man, you know I love this guy. It's my man, Big John from Warren, Carolina.
What's
John,
happening?
What's up, buddy?
What's good, John?
What's good?
What's happening?
What's going
John,
on?
how
Y'all?
you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, blessed and highly favored, brothers. How y'all doing?
Every day,
Just
man.
chilling.
I'm doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. And hey, man, listen, y'all are just in time because I was asked this question last night by my man Twan, and I felt like it would be a good question for y'all today. What is your most excited matchup that you're waiting to see this season in 2000?
I know you was going to ask
The
this,
Bears.
and I've been waiting for you to ask this question. I know you all go ahead. Go ahead.
And I got the wrong schedule too. This is 2022.
Come on,
Yeah,
Cody.
man, I know. I'm a pull
Twan
it
had
up.
the right schedule up, y'all.
Can
I
I
I'm
know.
start
surprised
it
you
off?
pulled up a Panthers schedule.
Twan,
not
where
a
you at?
Falcons
Help
one.
your brother out.
Shut up.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
start. I'm gonna start it off. Panthers, Texans at Panthers. It's
Thank
pretty.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That better be in prime time. That's got to be in prime time. There's no
Yeah.
way it's not.
Bryce Young versus
I-
CJ Stroud.
I'm kind of tore. I was going to pick the Colts because just the Frank Wright, the meeting, the Colts situation. But I can't forget all the former Bears who are former Panthers who are now Bears. There's a running back that plays for the Bears that's going to have, and a wide receiver that's going to see blood when they see us.
Also,
So
I want to
you
pick
know.
the Bears because I want to see J.C. Horn get a pick six on Justin Fields from all those people who say we should have got Fields. We should have got Fields. Oh, Horn gets
Yeah.
3 interceptions on him.
DJ Moore is gonna cook J.C. Horn, bro.
Nah.
Oh my
DJ
baby.
Moore is gonna cook him, bro.
Hey, what was
He's
this?
a-
I'm sick of the Dante slander. I'm sick of the CJ Henderson slander. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of
Hey,
it, bro.
hey, let me get my man John. Let me get my man John in here. Go
It
ahead,
ain't
John.
going to change, bro.
Let me ask a question real quick because I didn't catch this, but like I saw on Twitter, like I guess there was some JC Horn hate going around Twitter this week or something. What was that?
I
about?
guess. I don't know.
Yeah, basically
I
the
don't know.
Bears. Basically the Bears fans have been all up like pissing off Panthers Twitter saying, we won the trade. You should have taken Fields. Blah blah blah, and like they're crapping on JC Horn. But to be honest with you,
They ain't lying, Anthony.
no, G baby, no.
They ain't lying, bro.
G baby, you
That's
cannot
really
crap on
crap.
You cannot do that to Dante Jackson and
Dude,
what's his
I
face?
love
CJ
Dante
Henderson.
Jackson. I love CJ Henderson.
Let me ask this, John. Who would you take in that matchup 1-on-1? Honestly speaking,
Between
JC
who?
Horn. If JC Horn was on DJ Moore 1-on-1,
Mhm.
who you take?
I'll break it down in 2 ways. Short and intermediate, JC will put him in handcuffs, but like long ball, like I would, especially with no safety help, yeah, he might burn him. But in the like short intermediate routes, I think JC locks him up.
Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to say, man, because last year, DJ Moore, he put a hurting on Patrick Surtain.
He did.
And I mean, he really got the best of Patrick Surtain every which way,
But
But
bro, Pat
I don't-
Surtain is not better than better than JC.
No,
I'm
not at
sorry,
all.
man.
I've been saying that since before they were drafted. That I think JC Horn is a better corner prospect than Patrick Surtain. I don't know, man. Like,
you can't, bro. Bro, y'all
Bro,
about to
it-
really
it-
make me lose
bro,
my fucking mind on this
baby,
shit.
you're only
Go
saying
off,
that
G.
because
Go off, G, baby.
You're only saying that because of injuries, bro. You're not talking about the talent of
I'm
JC
talking about
Horn,
sheer
man.
fucking talent, Cody. Are
Yeah,
you kidding me?
JC Horn.
Bro, hell no.
Bro,
No
who
way.
has more
Who
natural
would you
No
talent
way,
than
bro.
JC Horn?
JC.
Who has more natural talent than JC Horn, man? And you're up here loving Dante Jackson. What is Dante Jackson?
I love Dante,
done?
but if you're
Yeah,
gonna shit on
what is
Dante,
he
you need
doing?
to shit on J.C. Horn, bro. J.C. Horn has not been a
JC
part of
Horn
this
is
team, bro.
way better than Dante Jackson.
Way
Ever.
better.
What are you
Way
Ever
better.
talking
played.
about?
Hey,
Way
I can,
better.
I can make a strong argument that part of the reason that Terrace Marshall started coming alive during the season when he got an opportunity is because of who he had to go up against in practice every day,
Oh, say
in
that,
training
John.
camp every day. Like I'm telling you, man, with JC, the only thing that you can hold over JC Horn's head is his injury history. Last year was just friendly fire. I don't even count that as being like, because he broke his forearm or wrist, or
His wrist.
I think it was his wrist. Bumping into another player, so it was friendly fire. Like when this dude's healthy, he is one of one. Like he's ridiculously talented.
I can say the same thing about Dante though, G. So what? If JC gets hurt, if JC Horn gets hurt again, then what? If JC Horn gets hurt this year, then what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say the same thing, bro. Like, but to be
that's
honest,
3 straight years. What are you talking about?
Man, listen,
We're talking about a top 10 pick, bro.
And I'm gonna give Dante his love too, because when Dante is healthy, he's straight too. But the thing is like I'm not gonna dog these dudes because they get injured. It's football, fam.
And like Karen Choi says, we have the worst turf, man. She said, blame the shitty turf we got and the friendly fire. And I think that's a good point, man. Like, it's way too early in JC Horn's career to just dub him as injury prone, man. And how about this? If we end up drafting your beloved Bryce Young, then you better thank that JC Horn injury, because there's no way that Mike Evans goes off on us the way he does that final game of the season if JC Horn is locking him down.
No.
There's no way.
G-Baby, if we draft Bryce Young, no more slander. I repeat, no more slander from you.
Yeah, right. Especially if we draft Bryce Young, man, because that
Bro.
injury played the biggest
No,
part.
I gotta keep it fucking real, bro. I'd much rather have Fields than JC fucking Horn. It's not even a question, man.
All right,
We're
so
not even talking about
G-Baby.
Would you have that Bryce Young or Justin Fields?
And then I'm gonna go to Eric.
Don't ask me that.
Hey, let me go to Eric. Eric's been raising his hand politely like a gentleman. Go ahead, Eric.
So Cody, I heard you say it's too early to declare JC Horn injury prone.
Yeah.
If he gets hurt again next season, will you then consider him injury prone, or would that not be appropriate yet?
No, that's a good question, man. If he does end up getting hurt for a third year in a row, I mean, we would call it. Yeah, you have to. We were calling Christian McCaffrey injury prone.
I didn't.
After 2 years.
No,
it determines what type of injury. Like, to me, broken bones is just a freak thing.
Also,
it's not like Achilles. It's not like a muscle tear.
I agree, Kevin.
It's not like an
I agree, Kevin.
ACL tear.
Y'all, also, I'm telling y'all, the McCaffrey thing was fake. He was not that injured when he got pulled out of those games, bro. I'm telling you, like, they just sat him. That's my honest opinion on that. Like, he had injuries for sure, but I don't think he was as injury prone as people like were making it out to be, because this year when he was healthy, the dude looked like a reborn player. Like, he was just crazy.
I have an opinion about that.
Well, he went from
I'll just say it, and I would hurt some feelings, but in my opinion is McCaffrey, when he was in Carolina, he realized he was only playing for his pride and his teammates. He wasn't playing for titles. He wasn't playing for championships, and he damn sure wasn't playing for his head coach. But when we traded him, yes, he was upset. But after he got there and after he realized who he was playing with, who he was playing for, and he was actually playing for a title or a winning season, then you know what? He decided, okay,
I can't believe
I
we
can
gave up
play a
on
little
that
bit
team,
banged
man.
up. I can play a little hurt. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so
that's why I can't fucking love this team, bro. We shit on our own fucking players, bro. Our own homegrown players, bro. Christian McCaffrey should never. Christian McCaffrey should never have fucking left this team, bro. DJ Moore should have never been traded, bro.
Bro, you'll be happy when we got our quarterback, bro. You won't even remember these dudes. What you mean?
Bro, well, I will always remember these guys, bro. Motherfuckers that should always be Panthers, bro.
Hey, but so Christian
might die in Chicago.
Christian McCaffrey posted this. This is like an Olympic sprinting routine that they do. Like sprinters do
It's
these
weird.
types of routines.
Cody.
Yeah, there are parts of it are very funny, but
Look what colors he got on.
yeah, he still got them
My boy missed
Panther blue colors.
My boy missed home. He missed home. You saw the interview.
Dude, that
Maybe
sprint
so,
looked
man.
like he was running all the way to Olivia's house, bro. You gotta play with that.
It looks like he had to use the bathroom real bad, but he was trying not to wake nobody up after coming in too late. Look, right there. That's the one right there. Look, that's the one. Hold up.
If Buddy retire in 2 years, I guarantee he gonna sign a 1 day with us.
He thought he had a fart right there.
Look, this one right here is he's trying not to wake. He's trying not to wake nobody up.
I've been getting the Target toilet.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody, when you jump off this, I'm trying to jump in that AR conversation again.
Yeah, man, jump on.
Go ahead,
Tell
man.
me what would you feel if we drafted Anthony Richardson #1?
Man, I got to be honest with you, and I said this before. His talent level is so immense that if we did and he figured it out, like he'll walk into the NFL as a top 3 rushing attack and have a top 5 arm already. That's without even playing yet.
Absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not.
If they figure it out, if they were to figure it out with this guy, the thing is his talent level would make him one of the best. He could be one of the best ever if he figures it out, right? That's a huge if. There would be 2 things that I would consider, though, and this will probably be the next video that I drop.
Right.
One, if you draft him and the consensus says this, if the consensus says that there's 2 guys at the top of the draft, the media, the fans, everybody else, that's what we've been arguing about for the last couple of weeks since we secured the pick. If the consensus is saying those 2 guys and you go against the grain, buddy, you better get it right. You better have mad conviction getting it right, because if you don't, and there's a clip where Chris Sims said this, and it was so subtle. He said it's a career ender. It really is. Like for Fitterer, for Reich, for anybody that would take this kind of chance, like I said, when the consensus narratives mean something. So if you did the same thing with CJ and it didn't work out, or Bryson and it didn't work out, it wouldn't be the same if it was Anthony Richardson, because many people don't see, like you guys were talking about earlier, don't see the need that we even needed to move up from 9 to grab him in the first place, right? So it better work.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think
the only reason I'll be okay with it is because our coaching staff. I trust them.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Anthony Richardson too, and I said I think he has the highest ceiling. But you already have an amazing coaching staff. Just take one of the 2 most polished guys in the class, and then make them into, reaching their ceiling. Like Anthony Richardson's a developmental project. He's gonna take time to really get going in the league. And the other thing is,
don't you think that CJ Stroud has already reached his ceiling? A lot of people have said that he has.
I don't believe that.
No, I don't think that. I don't think that.
I'll say this though. I will say, and I'm gonna say this, and then y'all can yell at me, and I'll sit back and listen. Listen, man. I heard the Stroud versus Trevor Lawrence argument. I've heard them all, man. All I'll say is this: if my man being prototypical size is not the consensus #1 pick, then the reason why he's not. Because every time they turn on the tape, every time they have a conversation, all they keep thinking about is Bryce.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts.
Bryce is the ultimate cog in the wheel, because conventional wisdom would tell you, take the guy that's 6'4", 200 plus pounds and roll with that and develop him. But man, when you turn on this boy's tape, or like Frank Reich, man, I was blown away. Look at what he knows already. How much more could we do with this? That's the cog in the wheel. That's why I'm telling you. And me and you've been on the same page for a minute.
Yes, sir.
It's Bryce all day.
Yeah.
Wait, time out. Hold on, this is news to me, One Carolina. Hey, baby. Hey, hold on.
If you ain't been paying attention to me, dog, like on Twitter.
Hey, hold on, G. This is news to me. I didn't know you was on that train, G. Hold on, G. What's up, bro?
Bryce Young, John.
Hey, what's up, my G?
Man, look, I've been on it, dog. And this ain't no slight on CJ, because CJ, I believe, could develop well and stuff like. But I'm just telling you, man, it's just something about this kid that is different.
Yeah, dude, and trust me, John, I've been holding my own. This whole panel is all besides for me and G Baby, it's all CJ. And like I've been saying the same thing. This dude's smart. He knows where to go with the football. But when you know where to go with the football before the ball's being snapped, like you can't teach that stuff. I'm sorry. Some of the intangibles he has are just amazing. So this consensus that the #1 pick is already locked up. Yeah, maybe Reich likes CJ a little more. But if they keep going back to that film, and I know they're studying film probably as we speak, they're just going to see that Bryce does so many things different, man. He just does. And if they can get over the size and he can put on like 10 pounds, I mean, this kid is going to be special. I really think so. Even if he went to the Texans too.
Special.
I want to read this. Real quick. I think that in that building, everyone in that entire building knows, and I think that the decision has already been made.
Hey, I agree. I
Yeah,
I agree with that, buddy.
John, let me.
I think
let me.
that this
Go
whole
ahead,
thing
Connor.
that they don't have a consensus number one is a smokescreen.
Well, this is what I believe, John. I'll let you go after this. This is what I believe.
Keep talking to me, Anthony.
They traded up with the idea to take Bryce Young, but they want to see if CJ has some things that are really close to what he is.
I agree.
Because if that's the case, they'll take CJ because of the height. Now, height shouldn't just be the only thing that matters, but as I just said, if they think that CJ can do some of the things that Bryce Young can, then they'll take CJ Stroud because he's the prototypical size. But if they just see that, CJ can't process like Bryce, he can't do certain things at the checks with the line of scrimmage, they're probably going to take Bryce. And I got on this train also because of what you said. Like, it's all a crapshoot. Anyone can get injured at any point in time. So that's why I don't really view the stature as low as a lot of people, because like I'm gonna get hate for this, but Cam Newton's season ended with that blast to the shoulder, and that dude was an alien. He was 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. And
hey, Kirk Cousins is 205, and he's never been injured in his career, and he's going on what 8-9 years.
Yeah, like
I don't want to hear that BS, y'all. Y'all gonna have to adjust your feelings real quick because the draft is less than a month away.
Let me say one more thing.
I'll be there. All right, I've been quiet long enough. I'm gonna say something.
Oh man.
All right, now I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really truly don't care who it is. I'm really good with either one. Okay, if they say it's Bryce Young, I'm happy with that. I'm happy. I got a question. What if they say it's CJ Stroud? How you gonna feel, G baby?
I'm gonna be mad as a motherfucking pickle, but I'm gonna get over it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be mad at all. I'm not gonna be mad at all because guess what? I was calling into the show week 7, and everyone knows this. I was saying, get that number 1 pick and get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. I was on this train for months.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be mad who they take out of the two.
Right.
I'm just saying, if they look back, let's just go 3 years down the line. If CJ Stroud turns out to be like a Jared Goff, let's just say that.
Just say 2 or 3 years. Frank Reich is gone.
Yeah, if he turns out to be a Jared Goff and Bryce Young is out here dodging defenders and he's Drew Brees on wheels, that is gonna look kind of salty.
Can I bring up the wait, I haven't said that in a while. Let me jump back in here because something came to my attention, and I think this matters. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news for the Bryce Young fans in here, but somebody made a point. CJ Stroud played at Ohio State. He has played in bad weather, in windy games where his arm and that arm talent is going to have to cut through wind and rain. We play in Bank of America Stadium, and dude, if you've been here the past few winters, bro, the weather has gotten pretty crazy down here. I think that when it comes to arm talent, there is a clear differentiating factor between Bryce and CJ, and I feel like CJ's accuracy and the arm talent probably has him number 1 in the clubhouse right now.
All right,
every other, and then I'll pass the mic. Every other mock draft that I've seen, granted that don't mean much, I understand, but just about every mock draft that you run upon has CJ Stroud going number 1. Maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like CJ Stroud, he might already be a lot to be number 1 if Frank Reich loves him as much as I believe he does.
Hold on,
Cody.
Do you know what his stats were in those bad weather games, dude? Because I watched a lot of CJ Stroud.
76 yards throwing. What does that prove? That doesn't prove
that. I'm so glad we're on the same page, G.
No. But you're also pinpointing one game, and against Michigan, which was also a terrible weather game, a very windy game. He had one of the most beautiful throws down the sideline to the bottom pylon to Marvin Harrison. Like there is in my opinion, there is a difference between the arm talent, and I don't think anyone in this year's class throws a better ball than CJ Stroud.
I agree with that.
Cody.
You know who I think Stroud?
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah,
LeBron.
we'll go Connor and then we'll go John. Go ahead, Connor.
Okay, so I don't think that necessarily if you're a head coach or GM, and even though he traded up all this, I don't think if CJ Stroud doesn't pan out, I truly do not believe he gets you fired. Because there is so much you can look back. If you're David Tepper, you can look back and see that if he doesn't pan out, you could see that this guy was a great prospect coming into this. This was a safe prospect coming into this. Barely anyone expected him to bust. So again, I don't really think that this is the pick that I don't necessarily think that this is the pick that gets you fired. However, I think that Anthony Richardson or Bryce Young, if they do not pan out, I think that is the pick that does get you fired.
What's their bottom? What bottom would you compare them to? Like at their worst, what quarterback would you compare him to?
CJ Stroud, I'd compare him to Addis worst. I'd say
like him and Bryce Young.
Oh,
maybe probably like at the low end, I would say like a Jared Goff.
For who?
For Stroud.
What about
him? I'd probably give Bryce Young a Josh Rosen maybe.
I don't know about that. That might.
Hold on. We need to go back to this point before John. I'm going to let you speak, but I need to talk to my boy Cody Latt for a second. How does one game versus Michigan, proving that you can throw in windy weather, mean that Bryce Young can't? Just like you saw in that Georgia game, how CJ Stroud was finally able to create outside of the offensive structure, which Bryce had been doing all season, showed that he could do it in one game.
No,
so
I mean, because that's not an equivalent. All right, the first game of the season, CJ Stroud against Notre Dame rolling to the sideline had some incredible plays rolling out, moving the pocket. So this notion, this notion that it's only the Georgia game, that's kind of misleading. And it's not even just one game. I'm not saying that Bryce couldn't. I'm saying that right now Stroud has proven to have a better arm for more inclement weather, and I think that's going to matter in the long run. We have never had to see Bryce throw in winds that are going 40 miles an hour the other way, and whereas with CJ, that would be something that he's probably a little more used to. I wanted John to jump in on this. Go ahead, John.
All right, so because I have a multi-layered conversation, but I'm not going to give it all at one time.
Okay.
The first part of this is this. All right, when all things were equal, that's one thing that I compare these guys to. When all things were equal, we don't know what CJ, because CJ stock rose whenever he played Georgia. But the one thing we don't know is like what happens if Kirby Smart gets a chance to game plan against you, against something that you've shown that was new. That could have very well been hidden by Ryan Day all year, anticipating that they would see someone like Georgia in the college playoff, right? The ability, because on the scouting report, I can guarantee you they didn't have that this guy can evade pressure and rush. Why? Because under pressure all year long, he was down there in the bottom with Spencer Rattler. Yeah, a little shot at white chocolate, but he was down at the bottom with Spencer Rattler as a quarterback that struggled that struggled processing after pressure. Another thing with him that could be a market improvement is this, and this is with CJ. The hashes are so much more condensed from the NFL to college. He may actually play faster when he gets to the league, which is his biggest issue. It's not that he can't read defense. It's that he doesn't get off of his first read fast enough, and then the rush gets there. So when they showed him in the Georgia game doing what he did to evade pressure, that's what made him better. But what I will say is this. Like I said, when all things were equal, I watched Bryce first time against Georgia. There were 6 or 7 players on that defense taken in the first round, and he carved them up 421 against them in the SEC championship. And yes, they beat him in the national championship. But like I said, how do we know with CJ if they have an opportunity to game plan that the result will be the same? Maybe CJ beats them, maybe they get smoked. You don't know. And that's
Also,
a
What
Go
was
ahead.
DJ
Cody, what-
Ugungale's?
this dude Cody
Oh my
only
God.
shows
shut up, man.
You know,
No, but I
that's
brought this up because this is floating around Twitter. This comparison between CJ Stroud and Mahomes. This is
Oh my
on. This is
goodness.
on. I mean, CJ Stroud and Mahomes. This is on passes of
Yo,
10
somebody
plus
got a real
yards.
bad echo, man.
Yeah, I think that's probably Kev. Oh,
It was
white
like
chocolate.
me. My mic's always acting up.
Whoever mute your microphone if you're not talking. This was Stroud versus Mahomes, and this is on passes of 10 plus yards in college. 94.5 passing grade versus 91.1 from Mahomes. Stroud had a better completion percentage at 57.2 compared to Mahomes' 54.1. Touchdown to interception was 6-11 for CJ, 55-23 for Mahomes, and a passer rating of 128.7 compared to 104.4 for Patrick Mahomes. Now, Anthony, now you have heard me say, and I know you have, that I have compared Bryce Young to Drew Brees, and that's a Hall of Famer. Okay, so why is it that comparing CJ to Mahomes, why is that a bad comparison? They're around the same height, they're around the same weight. To me, this is if there is any way that you can compare Stroud to Mahomes, I think that we should be talking about it.
I mean,
I would say this, and let me do this real quick, just real quick.
CJ Stroud is not magical, my dude. He is not magical.
People are calling Bryce Young mini Mahomes, so I don't know what this has to do with anything. I'm sorry, Cody.
I don't either. And Anthony, but here's the point: why are they calling him that? Because this stat line,
key word there is mini.
It's going to be like this stat line is cool, and that's
Mini
accurate.
me.
Don't get me wrong, but the reason they're calling him that is because of what Patrick does. Operating under pressure when the play is not structured, creating something out of nothing. And yeah, we saw CJ do that one time, but if you could tell me that he can consistently do that, then yeah, he's consensus number one. I saw Bryce do that, and I saw Patrick do that in college consistently. That's the difference.
Exactly.
I saw.
But
I saw
Bryce
Spencer
Young.
Rattler do it against Clemson.
Bryce Young's offensive
We're talking about
coordinator
Spencer Rattler.
was a former NFL offensive coordinator, a former head coach, and was an offensive coordinator of a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And we know Nick Saban's knack. He can coach in the NFL and college with as much success. He just would rather stay in college where he's the big guy on the block. So Bryce has had better coaching than CJ Stroud has, because CJ Stroud didn't have NFL style coaching. So of course he's going to be more ready for the pro level from day one. That's common sense. Who do you think taught Bryce Young? Just wasn't born with the NFL knowledge of defense. He was taught that by the guy who is currently the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots.
Okay, but
Pickle, let me ask you something. If I'm hiring you to run a Fortune 500 company, do you want somebody that has experience that looks like he's ready, or somebody that needs to develop? That's the question. Because, like I'm saying, it's not. Look, the Ohio State quarterbacks get pegged for a reason.
But I don't believe that. Okay, if you take Bryce Young, now from what I've read by a bunch of sites, ESPN, they talk about it quite often. Bryce Young, you're limited to what you won with Bryce Young. You're limited to a Tampa 2 or not a Tampa 2. You're running to a West Coast offense. That's what offense you're going to run if you draft Bryce Young.
How though?
Because quarterbacks his size have always run that. That's what's told.
I mean, Drew Brees would drop back from center and throw.
Drew Brees run a West Coast. That's why he was so good throwing it short.
Suppose this though. Okay, suppose you're right, Pickle, and I'm not disagreeing with you there. But didn't we see a guy win 7 Super Bowls and go to 9 Super Bowls running a similar West Coast system where everything was underneath and intermediate mostly? We didn't see Tom Brady go off crazy deep threat until he got Randy. And then we saw the rest. But he won 7 titles doing that very kind of offense. I'm not saying that. And like I said, with CJ, here's the one thing with him. when he gets in a system where the hashes are more condensed, when he gets in a system where he can go a little bit more intermediate. A lot of Ryan Day's offense is long developing plays, which is why you would see him throw from opposite hash. And not for nothing, 16 to 20 yards down the field, CJ Stroud, highest completion percentage in all of college football. So you got to give him credit for that. But the intermediate stuff is where it's different. Here's where Bryce is different. 6 to 10 yards, 83% completion percentage. 11 to 15, Bryce 72 to CJ 60%. Right? What does that tell me? That tells me that I'm not processing information as quickly as the other guys. It's not saying that he's not accurate, because he's dead accurate when he's on target, when he sees where he's going. But with Bryce, it's like I'm sorry, man. It's accurate when the ball's leaving my hand with the anticipation throws. That's what's different. But go ahead.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to say. The reason CJ is so accurate on these deep passes is because that's always his first read. He's always going to throw to one of these top-notch receivers who's going to be open down the sideline.
Not true.
Yeah,
It's just not true.
Okay,
Even if their number one wide receiver is wide open, and yes, he will go to the first read if they're wide open. There are multiple times through multiple bits of film where CJ is having to go from 1 to 2 to even 3, and then still pulling the trigger. Like, this notion that he doesn't go through his reads, I don't know where that comes from. It would be one thing if you're talking about him being stuck on read number 1 all the time. Then yeah, it's a problem, and I don't want to draft that guy if he has that type of problem. CJ Stroud does not have that much of a problem in that area.
Cody, what he's saying is that Bryce hits the intermediate and smaller throws because he's making a quick decision there. We saw on film together on the film study. There's plays where people are wide open on the check down for CJ just to take the easy stuff. And we've said this, he's too aggressive downfield. That's not going to work in the NFL. You can't just take the deep shot.
That's also so easily fixable.
Coachable. Much like I criticize Bryce Young because he holds on to the ball too long. But that in itself, that's coachable. I don't worry so much about the coachable stuff because both these quarterbacks are very coachable.
Let me welcome.
Why even have to go through trying to coach someone to do it when we already can draft someone that's already got it?
Well, but also
not perfect, dude.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me, bro.
Yeah, but all right, but how come we don't ever talk about Bryce Young? How sometimes he gets real toesy and has some footwork inconsistencies. Like whenever he's throwing the ball, sometimes I feel like he doesn't have both of his feet firmly planted into the ground before he throws. Yeah, and I've heard other people say this about him. And let me real quick, let me welcome someone to the room, long time fan and joiner of the Free for All, Michael Weston. Michael, what's up, dude? You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. You know what? I was looking at the free for all, but the only reason why I wanted to get on this because I saw G Baby in here. And I saw the Bryce Young pom-pom holder. And I was like, let me holler at my Bryce Young fan. I'm going to die out here. Look, I was looking at what game was it? Because everybody had a real rough game in college. We had Michigan versus Ohio State. That was his rough games. But then I looked at Bryce Young when he had to go against LSU. And when I looked at that game, he scared me a lot when it comes to being in the NFL. Not because he don't have the talent, not because he ain't got the it factor, not because he's not accurate. It's the fact that I would give him 6 years in the NFL before he has to retire. Just because I'm that scared of how he holds the ball way too long. And if he gets cracked bad, it could be fatal.
But here's the thing here's the best. He's talking about Bryce. Here's the best thing about Bryce, though. When he holds that ball and he gets out of the pocket, if he doesn't have anything to create, he'll throw the ball out of bounds. That's the best part about him. He does not put the ball in harm's way. Now, there's things they can both work on. Like you said, his footwork's a little toesy. Okay, well, CJ, whenever he's got pressure in his face, he runs back. He doesn't move forward in the pocket. That's a problem. That's going to get you sacked a lot. There's many things that both of these prospects have flaws with. That's why they're not, rated as a Trevor Lawrence guy. But my point is that, yes, they both have flaws. But in my opinion, there's just some instinctual stuff that you cannot teach always in the NFL, because you see it with guys who are like 5 to 6 year veterans who still have the same problems on a week to week basis. Some stuff you just cannot teach. Like, it's just that simple. It's just instincts. Otherwise, everyone would be like Tom Brady. They would all, run the same playbook, take the check down every play. But no one does that because they're not Tom Brady. That's just what separates different players from different players. Like, that's ultimately what me and John are trying to say here. It's not even a knock on CJ. It's just
Let me ask a question. What can Bryce Young do? Is there anything that Bryce Young can do that CJ Stroud will never be able to do, or like doesn't do now, or will never be able to do in the future?
Yeah,
I just said it. I don't know if he'll ever be able to process information as quickly. I don't know if he'll ever have a high IQ like Bryce Young. I mean, Nick Saban even said the dude was basically a coach on the field. Right after the game on Saturday, he would go in there on Sunday and basically be studying everything. How do you, you can't teach that stuff. That's just stuff guys do because they want to be great. It's not even a knock on CJ.
I'll add on top of this, Anthony. The one thing I will say about that, though, Cody, and the same thing that can kill you can make you stronger. So, like, Manning was the first person that we saw making checks at the line of scrimmage, doing all that kind of cerebral stuff, if you will, like on a whole different level than anybody else that came before him. But you could make a strong argument. Like, let's say Manning was Bryce as far as the brain. I'm not talking about the body, so please don't misconstrue this. But, like, if Manning is the brain and Tom is the talent, right? Because we see that CJ has incredible arm talent. You could make a strong argument for even the Bryce truthers like myself and Anthony that CJ would be the better choice. Why? Because sometimes with playmakers, with cerebral guys, you have a hard time like taking them outside of the, what they want to do or what they see and not play within the structure of your offense. Here's somebody that struggled with that for years, believe it or not, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has struggled, and he's that guy. He plays a lot. Bryce plays a lot like Rodgers. And Rodgers has struggled to play within the confines of an offense. Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls doing it. Tom Brady won 7 doing it. And Manning only has 2, one that we should have won, right? But the reason is because you can't always build around these guys because they have to have a certain amount of control in order to be effective. And that's something to think about.
Yeah, and that's part of that's why I said, John, and that's why I said to the panel, different stuff makes different players great. Aaron Rodgers is better when he's outside the pocket. You can't teach that stuff. Like, you just can't teach some of the things these players do. And that just makes players different from one another. As I said before, like you say, well, what can this player do that this player can't? If we use that argument, we could use that argument towards Tom Brady, because wouldn't they all try to model what he does? Throw the little checkdowns, get the ball out quick. You can't teach that. Or otherwise, every other quarterback would be doing it. That's why Breeze, that's why Brady, that's why Rodgers, that's why they're all great and the top quarterbacks of all time, because they all thrive at doing instinctual stuff that you cannot teach. You just can't teach, no matter how good your coaching staff is, and that's why you still see the same.
Well, I'm gonna let you go, Pick. I promise. Let me welcome SC Base into the show. SC Base, good to see you again, brother. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, C3? Enjoy the guys, man. Glad to see another Free Fall Friday. I know you guys already discussed it earlier with AR-15. I believe the hype train is growing with him. I don't believe that he's the best option for us to take a number 1, but I do believe the hype train is growing with him. So don't be surprised to see him go in the top 5. That's all I'll say on that, just because the media had this propensity to hype players up as we get closer to the draft, and I believe that's going to be happening with Anthony Richardson.
Okay, I hear that. I wanted to say something on this Bryce and CJ thing real quick, and I think that Georgia game really kind of muddies the water for the Bryce Young fans. And what I mean by that is a lot of these NFL coaches, they're looking for talents and traits that they think are going to translate into the NFL. You might say that you didn't see it enough throughout the season for CJ Stroud. But that one Georgia game where he is evading pressure against the best defense in the nation, rolling out to the sideline, keeping his eyes downfield, navigating his receivers. Coaches are going to look at that and say, okay, I have seen CJ Stroud pretty much do everything that I saw Bryce Young do at a high level this season. I saw CJ do that in this game. Oh, by the way, and he has a 78-inch wingspan, and he's 6'3". So, but if I and now let Connor go after this, when you factor in the ball placement, does that not give more upside and plus factors to CJ Stroud? Like if CJ Stroud is able to maneuver the pocket in the same way that Bryce does, and he has a bigger arm, how does that not make him the prospect with the higher upside? And to add on to that, all the rumors is that CJ Stroud is incredibly intelligent as well. The coaches rant and rave about him. So I don't want it to come off like CJ is just miles behind Bryce Young in the mental department, because the rumors are that they're both very, very smart. I'll go Pickle and then I'll go Connor, the order I heard people.
If I just say this, I remember Drew Brees throwing off his tippy toes a lot. He had to learn over his time he was to San Diego how to throw it that way accurately. I'm not against Bryce Young. Don't misunderstand that. I would be just as happy with either of them. And I think we've over debated this conversation to where we're just doing the same thing every week. So
yeah, I mean, no doubt, but we're filling time. Go ahead, Connor.
All right, so here's my take, and I've got a pretty long segment right here. So this is what I think. I like both of these guys, but this is my argument. So I like to argue. I like to nitpick both of these guys. I know that's probably a bad thing, but at the same time, I like watching the film on these guys. Here's what I see, though. Okay, and CJ Stroud is an amazing prospect. I think that it's like 1A, 1B. These guys are both going to be great. But here's my argument against CJ Stroud.
All right.
Should we look up? Does anyone want to look up for me Ohio State's roster? Oh, here, I'll do it myself. Let's see.
No, I can do it. You talk and I'll look it up.
Okay. Well, here's the guys that I can name off my head. So his offensive line, he has Paris Johnson and I believe DeJuan Jones on his offensive line. His receivers throughout his career. His notable ones I can think of: Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Buka, and what's the other guy's name?
Jackson Smith and Njigba.
Yes, Jackson Smith and Njigba. Those are that's a huge supporting cast. And also the only other time, now a lot of people say that Joe Burrow did this, that he did all this even though he had a great supporting cast. Sure, he had a great supporting cast, but he played in the SEC. He played in the SEC with that great supporting cast. So basically,
that's the roster.
Ohio State has a great supporting cast. So, and
yeah.
I get the argument with Joe Burrow, but again, Joe Burrow played in the SEC, the Big Ten. Okay, I don't mean to offend anyone here, but the Big Ten will never be even close to the competitive level of the SEC.
Hey, talk to him, Carter. Talk to him.
Ohio State will never even be close to Georgia or close to Alabama. And Ohio State does not run a pro-style offense. Ohio State runs their own offense. They have RPOs. They have. It's just in the SEC.
It's the ACC.
You have defenders down in the SEC.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You have a lot of great defenses in the SEC. So I think that the weapons thing is certainly an argument, and the offense and the conference is also certainly an argument.
I do want to say this, and then because I got to hop out of here soon. Connor made some great points. We've seen what Bryce can do with real receivers. The dude threaded the whole college nation. He was amazing. But I think people are missing the point of what I'm trying to say as the difference between these two guys. like Cody, you mentioned, oh, well, if he can escape the pocket and he has a bigger arm, it's not just about having a bigger arm, this and that. It's not just about like the potential to be, a big, strong guy that can throw the ball downfield and make tight, accurate windows. That's all great. I'm just saying there are some things that Bryce Young has that you cannot teach other players. Just instinctual things that have showed up on a week-to-week basis. And I'm not even trying to drag this on because I know people are probably tired of.
It's called that it factor, Anthony.
I know John and G Baby get what I'm saying.
Right, I'm wearing a Kobe Bryant jersey, bro. It's called that it factor.
Yeah,
the shit you cannot fucking teach.
And it's just like I've seen him. And I know there's an argument that, well, he had a NFL offensive coordinator, so he could do that. But the dude was making his own. He was calling his own plays, just like he did at his pro day. The dude is just different. And if he was 6'3", 215, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We really wouldn't. So like I said, the great quarterbacks, like I'll let you go, John. Just want to finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
The great quarterbacks, like I said, Brady, Rodgers, Breeze, Manning, they all possess things that you cannot teach. Like, yeah, Rodgers has, like, they all have different things. And Tom Brady never had the strongest arm. Neither did Drew Brees. That stuff doesn't really matter that much in the NFL. I mean, Josh Allen can throw the ball 80 yards, but he hasn't won a Super Bowl. It's not just about that. You have to be able to command your team. I mean, dude, Bryce Young's a psychopath. The dude was smiling when he was down on a 2-minute drill. Like, he knew he was going to go win the game. That's the guy I want on my team. And it's not even to hate on CJ Stroud at all. It's just, I don't know if you're going to be able to teach CJ Stroud how to process quickly.
Yeah,
or
Tom
any
Brady
of that stuff.
had that same smile down in the same situation.
So the last thing, Cody, I just don't know, like, to your argument, I get what can this player do that this player can't. I guess my answer is he doesn't process the same. He just doesn't have that it factor from what I've seen. That's just the bottom line. And it's nothing against CJ. It's just who Bryce is.
See, Anthony, that's where I differ a little bit with you on that, because I think that this truly is a 1A, 1B situation. And the reason is because of scheme fit. Like with CJ, like the one thing that you can do with CJ that you may not be able to do with Bryce, specifically with his deep ball accuracy, is you could build a foundation of weapons that could be much different than after the yards get. Like, for example, Terrace Marshall may be a much better receiver with CJ than intermediate Bryce in the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So it really just matters. It depends on the scheme, that they choose to run. I don't think you're going to go a lot of heavy RPO with CJ because he doesn't necessarily give you that. Like, I watched a couple of, games where where they did do the design quarterback run and he got smashed before he even moved 2 yards, but that's not his game and that's okay. But like I really do. Personally, I'm never going to get tired of this conversation until we draft the guy, because as a content creator, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? It's so multi-layered. So listen, I apologize to all the people that I keep seeing in the chat like, oh my God, we're dragging this out. Hey, listen, I'm going to be doing it unless they announce it before they draft, which I don't, because of the anticipation. I don't think that they will. It's just so multi-layered and it's fun to talk about.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta welcome someone to the stream, man. Last night, I don't know if y'all caught this. I did an interview with my man Twan Don on the 704 Charlotte Bound show. Y'all make sure and check that out, man. He asked me some great questions. I gave him some very open and honest answers, like I'm sure some of you will never let me forget. Don't say shit to me, Kev. Let me welcome this man.
I don't have to say anything. I can just show you.
You know him. You love him. It's my man, Twan Don. Twan, what's up, dude?
What's going on, guys, man? How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling
chilling,
good,
bro.
Man.
What's
same
up,
old
man?
day, same old day.
Hey, how good was
Cody,
Cody, man? How good was Cody?
He was great until he worked out that jersey.
I should have never shown that shit, Twan. I should have never shown.
Cody, you had on an Atlanta jersey.
Yeah,
man, I was born in
White
Atlanta,
Chocolate
man.
Espresso ain't gonna let you
I
live
was
that down.
born in Atlanta, man. All it
Look
took
at my
is that.
profile picture,
All it took is that one Super Bowl for me to figure out. Look, yeah, let me show you how much of a troll Kevin is. He put that as his profile picture, man. How disrespectful, man. No, man, all it took was that one Super Bowl against the Broncos and John Elway, and I knew that was a fraudulent team, and I never looked back.
Hey Kevin, where'd you get that picture from?
G baby had it. He said in the chat.
Yo, hey Anthony, I got one more question for you.
What's up, bro?
So this isn't who you want. I saw this in the chat. This is not a question of who you want in the draft. Who are we going to take in the draft, do you think?
Oh, I think we're taking Bryce Young. I'll stand by it. I think we're taking Bryce Young.
I hope we do, but I think we're going to take CJ.
That's like
it don't
hey,
matter
man, it doesn't really matter to me.
It's 1A and 1B to me.
All I said was you gotta hope the other one doesn't turn out to be a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say.
You can just hope. In my opinion, we should hope for what we should hope for is that these guys turn out to be Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, or Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts all over again.
Look, this is what I think. Like, honestly, we are a staple. I said this before. The next player pick is going to Houston. They got to go to the AFC.
Hey, Michael, speaking to the mic a little bit more. It's kind of hard to hear you, man.
I said the person that's picking after us got to go to Houston, Texas. And they're going to the AFC. That means that Patrick Mahomes comparison with Bryce Young, he better hope he can live up to it. Or if it's CJ Stroud, that Joe Burrow comparison, they better hope they can live up to it. Because it's way too talented in the AFC. So the chances of us looking like a moron for the first 3 years is very slim to none. That's the first good thing about our situation. The second thing is either one of these players and quarterbacks coming in the league could be the best quarterback upcoming in the NFC period. It's not like the very next person picking afterwards is the Giants or someone in the NFC we got to face on a regular basis. That guy's going to be on the other side. The only way we got to look at him and feel threatened.
I can't hear him.
Hold up, I'm going to leave back up.
Hey,
Yeah,
boys,
man,
I gotta head out. So,
go ahead, Anthony. I'll let you plug your stuff before you leave, man.
oh yeah, y'all can check me out at Panthers Central Podcast. I'm definitely gonna be posting this week since draft is coming around, and yeah, man, I love this community, love doing this stuff, and shout out to Cody Lashney. He's the reason I got into it. I love the C3 Panthers Podcast, and yeah, man, not much else to say. I get killed. I've been getting killed in this chat for like 3 weeks. Anthony, you love Bryce Young, blah, blah. YBJ be killing me. But, man, I don't care. I stand on my opinion. But, yeah, boys, have a good night. I'll check y'all out later, man.
Appreciate you, Anthony.
For sure, man. All right,
Yeah,
everyone. Peace out,
bro.
Peace out.
The thing that I would kick back on with what the guy was saying earlier was, I don't think any of these players have to live up to anything that these commentators and the media are putting out there on them. That's putting a duty and putting bags on them that they didn't ask for.
I agree.
You know, if anybody's out here saying that comparing somebody to Patrick Mahomes or whatever that's coming out of the draft, that's completely unfair to put that type of pressure on that kid. That kid needs to come in to be the best him, you know. And that's all they need to be worried with. And I hope that they got those people in their ear saying, look, you don't have to be Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Bryce Young or any of the quarterbacks that we need to come in and be who they are and fit into our scheme and go from there. Who knows? They might be better than Patrick Mahomes at the end of the day. It's doubtful, but maybe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they're being compared to Patrick Mahomes, I think we're doing something right, you know? To me, it's just like there isn't that much that separates these dudes. And it gets down to the point where I don't want to harp on the height and the weight anymore, but they really are so close. But what they're able to do on the field, that I really do think that the arm talent and the height and weight put CJ Stroud just a little bit ahead in this conversation for me.
And that's why it's a safe pick. It's a safe pick because the next person picking is Houston. They gotta whoever they pick gotta go to the AFC. So if Bryce Young got that ick factor, he better have it because he really got to deal with Patrick Mahomes over there. Or if CJ Stroud go over to the AFC, he got to deal with Joe Burrow since he got the Joe Burrow complexion. The comparison. The beauty of this is we cannot fuck this up. Let's say that first. That's why it's great that they're 1A, 1B, because we can't mess this up. No matter who we pick, we have something special. And the most beautiful part, no matter who we pick, in 5 years could be the best quarterback in the NFC because there's none over here. But in the AFC, there's Patrick, Joe, Justin, Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers is going. Like the list goes on. So Bryce Young, if we don't draft him and Houston gets him, cool, because he's going to have to deal with juggernauts over there.
Yeah.
So we're in a very safe situation, and probably the best situation that we could be in having the first pick of the draft.
I don't think either one of these guys is going to be worried about any of those quarterbacks you named in the NFL, man. If I'm Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, you know what I'm saying? I'm just as highly recruited as you. I'm coming in to try to do my thing. I didn't ask to be compared to those guys. You know what I'm saying? I say it's unfair to do that. And look, man, I mean, Joe Burrow won in 1 year. Joe Burrow won 1 year LSU. You know what I'm saying? So they could come in and be just as good, man. You know what I mean? Like, who is Joe Burrow to them? I don't believe they're scared of either one of them quarterbacks. I'm like, who are they to me, man? I mean, I'm coming out highly recruited, Heisman Trophy winners. They like, look, he ain't win the Heisman. You know, at the end of the day, let's be honest, man. The reason why whoever this quarterback is that comes to us is going to be in a great position is because Patrick Mahomes, when he started his career, was in a great position.
Yes.
I'll say this. Man, listen, Big Jordan asked me. He said, John, who would I draft? The only reason I would say Bryce is this, Cody, and the rest of you guys. Man, what we saw Patrick do last year, like we saw Patrick get smoked in the Super Bowl against Brady. Why? It wasn't because Brady played so excellent. It was because they got pressure on him. Like, you know, the pressure came in like crazy. So, like, winning this Super Bowl without Tyreek, you know, of course you got Kelsey, but like now you can focus and realize, like, I don't have to get this guy number one receiver. I can just keep retooling the offensive line. The reason why I'm so big on Bryce Twan is because, man, I'm telling you, if this guy is as advertised and he processes the way he does, and we saw the drop off, he went from 40 plus touchdowns to 37 touchdowns without Jameson, without John Mechie, right? Then you can put the focus on protecting him. You don't have to go out and draft the, number one receiver, and you'll have people flocking here to come play for him.
And we got that line.
Yes,
and we got that line in front of him.
Patrick Mahomes is due a 07 Brady season. It's gonna happen. One of these young guns out here, whether it's Justin Jefferson,
it's gonna happen.
It's coming. It's coming, bro.
Patrick Mahomes ain't never had to really work since he's been in the NFL. He's always been around great players, man.
Right. But I'm telling you that season is coming because one of these young guys is like, exponential, sort of like Randy did back in 07.
Yeah, one of these dudes gonna blow.
They going. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And when they do, it's a wrap. And that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, the closest thing, I'm not saying he's Pat, but when I'm talking about the less I have to have around him for him to be successful, that's why I pick Bryce personally.
I'm at this point now, John, and where is G Baby still in here? I don't hate to say this, but I'm really at this point, and more and more talking with Cody and other people doing these one-on-ones. Hey, G Baby, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now so you can hear from me. I really don't care which one of these quarterbacks we get at number one at this point now, man. I really don't. We can't lose.
I agree. I do agree with
I'm not going to tear down Bryce Young to make CJ Stroud look good. I'm not going to tear down CJ Stroud to make this. I mean, we can't lose. And I'm going to be upset with any Panthers fan where we don't pick the guy you want and then you act sad all night. That's dumb.
Twan, what you going to do when they draft when they fool Lawless and get Will Levis?
But if they do that, man, then I'm just going to turn the TV off and go to bed. I'm turning the TV off and I'm going to bed.
Riots in Charlotte.
Burn Mint Street to the ground. in
I'm
that
gonna be like,
scenario.
man, and
Hey, Cody,
I have
I
to
got
call a
one
check
question
on.
real
I gotta
quick.
call a check on G baby that night because he gonna be on suicide. He gonna be on suicide watch.
Hey,
I mean, everybody is, man. Go ahead, Connor. Go ahead.
Are you doing a mock draft tonight or no?
No, probably not tonight.
All right, then in that case, I think I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I got dinner and stuff.
Have a good night, Connor. Glad you can join us again, brother.
All right. Yeah,
Hey,
try
Cody.
to get Tony to let me write for C3 again. I'd love to.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Right? No, we're gonna make that happen, Connor. I promise you.
All right.
Connor,
thank
you the
so much,
future, little
guys.
bro.
Good night.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good night, dude.
You too.
Cody, you know if they did draft Levis, like it could be Hendon, it could be Richardson, it could be whoever, bro. If they draft Will Levis, the chat's gonna be lit on draft night. It's gonna everybody they do Panther content go have 1,000 people.
I'm not lying, man. And look, they would try. They'll trash Mint Street. They would trash.
Oh gosh,
Bro, I'm gonna be trashing Kansas City.
Bro, the arena will be
Cody gonna be down there in the tank top trashing it too.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, dude, hey, it's on, man. If we draft Levis, it's gonna be a bad night in Charlotte.
It'd be a bad night for me in Kansas City. I'd still be
Hey,
drunk.
y'all heard Cody last night. Cody went up against M13s, and I'm like, oh man, this guy right here, bro.
Hey man, when I'm on one, when it's time to fight, it's time to fight. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I was looking at some CJ Stroud this morning. I was looking at Bryce last night, and I was looking at CJ this morning. Man, I disagree with Anthony when he said CJ doesn't have an it factor. Dude,
Exactly.
yes, he does, man. Dude, watching CJ, I'm telling you, out of every quarterback in this year's draft, nobody throws a better downfield ball than CJ Stroud, man. It's so beautiful, dude. I feel he has a better arm than Joe Burrow, and I feel like he didn't even get to show off his arm talent a ton this year because he knows how to let off that power. He's a touch thrower, but whenever you see him have to rifle a ball between two defenders, he's capable of doing that, man. He has the drive and the arm talent in order to be able to do that. And I see superstar in him, man. I really do. I think he's going to end up being a superstar somehow.
Yep.
I could see that too. The one thing I will contend though is this: like we know, I don't know. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all trust the report where Tepper came out? Well, not Tepper didn't say this, but I think it might have been Albert Breer or one of the media guys that said that Tepper's going to leave this decision up to Reich and Fitterer to make.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that those two have the final say so in the ball house. I mean, there's no one else that I would want making that decision. And if I'm being very honest with you, John, I can see a scenario where Fitterer loves Bryce Young and CJ Stroud is favored by Frank Reich.
Yeah, I think that's why Tepper, in my own opinion, I think that's why Tepper brought in so many.
Yeah.
He allowed them to bring in so many, especially two other ex-NFL coaches that have been there and done that before, in Caldwell and Dome Capers, to where if it turns that Tepper has to break the tie, he's gonna go talk to somebody else. He's gonna find out what they think.
Well, Pickle, let me add on top of what you're saying, because the one thing that I will say is this: there was the picture of Steve Smith and David Tepper together said more than one thing to me. When you listen to how Steve Smith was talking about Bryce in his face, when you saw how he was talking about him in his face, hey man, if you get drafted, I'm buying your jersey. Hey man, if you talking about the processing, the anticipation throws, stuff like that, the layered throws, all the stuff that he does. You got to know, like, with him being a member of the Panthers still, as you know, especially with his broadcasting duties during the preseason, they're having those conversations. And he's going to have that conversation with Tepper. And if Tepper is the tiebreaker, I do expect those kind of things to come up, like Smitty, like, hey, man, listen, this dude's different, Tep. He's different. I'm telling you.
But they both are.
That's a good point. But there's just certain things. There's certain things about this kid that are just, like I said, when people talk about his height, the one thing I will say is this: there's an answer for everything. I ain't gonna say that. CJ Stroud answered a lot of his questions in one game. Bryce has answered a lot of his questions with his full tape. But the thing is like Cody's saying, how do we know with CJ that he can't do that consistently because he may not have been asked to? So that's a good point.
Well, in that case, let's hope he talks. If Tepper reaches out to a former player, let's hope he talks to Steve Smith and not Thomas Davis, or we'll be drafting.
Wow. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, what?
That's who Thomas Davis said he heard they were going to draft here.
I mean, I know Tepper's
Do you guys
the owner.
fully believe that?
No.
Well, Thomas Davis said it. That's all I know. I don't believe they're. Here's what I said a while back when that happened. I thoroughly believe that was a conversation that somebody did tell Thomas Davis that's who they were hiring. I also believe at one time this year, what I guess should be technically last year. At one time last year, if somebody asked Tepper who he liked, he would say Will Levis, because in 2021, Will Levis had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
But from then till now, a lot has changed. And whoever told Thomas Davis, yeah, they like Anthony Richardson, at the time they probably did. But you don't know the timeline on how that happened. You don't know when Thomas Davis was told that. Thomas Davis didn't say it was done recently. We assumed he was said recently, but he never said
that might have been an old tape. You know, they're not gonna tell us though.
You know, and let's be honest, if you're Scott Fitterer, if you're Frank Reich, if you've already decided who you're taking, why in the hell are you going to tell Thomas Davis, who's going to go on NFL Network and
Exactly.
Why are you going to tell Steve Smith?
They wouldn't tell any one of these guys.
Fans to hear it directly from you, you're going to tell them the complete
That's
opposite.
a good point, Pickle. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Hey, man, let me welcome my man JD864 to the stream. JD, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's good? How y'all doing, man?
What up,
Chilling, man. Chilling. Yeah, jump in on this, man. What you thinking about this? The same old conversation, man. Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. But what you thinking, dog?
Yeah, man. My opinion on it hasn't shifted. If it is the case, or like a lot of people were saying, you got a 1A, 1B. I personally, I take it a step further in that, like I said last week, with the way that our team is set up, the way the offensive side of the ball is set up, any quarterback that the organization decides to bring in, they're going to be set up for success. Like even if it's a Levis or Richardson, if those guys, say for instance, hell, it might be Young or Stroud, they might be sitting behind Dalton when the season starts. So again, if Dalton is the starter, the team is set up for success. But on the conversation of Young versus Stroud, I lean more so Stroud than Young, because the one thing you can't teach when it as it pertains to Young is height, size. You can't teach those things. I disagree with. I was listening earlier when Anthony was saying that there are things that Young does that coaches won't be able to teach Stroud. I called crap on that because prior to Norv coming to the Panthers and working with Cam, the whole conversation around Cam was he struggles with his short to intermediate routes. Like he struggles throwing the ball on short and intermediate routes. Well, we brought Norv in. Norv worked with Cam, and all of a sudden he went from completing just above 50% of his passes to completing well over 60% because Norv was like, "Hey, take the fucking short shit." So the coaches, I disagree wholeheartedly when it pertains to like, oh, Stroud can't do what, and you yourself, Cody, you said it. We don't know if Stroud can't do those. Could have been a situation where in which, hey, the team's having success with them asking him to do this.
Yeah.
So we don't need him to go out there and learn how to do this or show that he can do X, Y, and Z. So, like I said, I lean more Stroud than Young. But at the end of the day, I genuinely do feel like whomever they decide to take at quarterback, they're going to the quarterback, whomever is the starter for the Carolina Panthers, is going to be set up for success. So if that quarterback puts in the work that they need to put in, it's going to show. And I say all that, and I can't leave out my boy McNine. Like I know people probably gonna laugh. I know people are gonna laugh and shoot it down, but I'm dead serious when I say whoever is the starter, do not let McNine get his foot in the door, because I didn't see shit from Matt Corral that leads me to believe, he's so much less a talent.
Oh, that's fighting words with Cody.
No, he's on my side. No, he's on my side.
Let's talk about that.
Fan, man.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about that, Cody.
Yeah, I mean, what you want to talk about? I've said for a while that this does not equate to better quarterback, but I do believe that Matt Corral has a better arm talent than Bryce Young, and I've said that for a while, man. I really
John.
have.
John, can I ask y'all? Can I ask y'all a quick question before you ask yours, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you guys this question. I want everybody's opinion around the blocks. Which quarterback? Let's not say who's better. Which quarterback do you think is going to fit the Carolina Panthers the most? Fit.
If I'm gauging it off of what Frank Reich said in the press conference when he made emphasis on RPO, I would say that it would be a mixture between Bryce and AR. Because CJ Stroud to me won't fit RPO because there's no.
It sounds like they said they're gonna run RPO.
Yeah, there's no threat there. Like I don't see a viable threat for him in the RPO system. Now, the one thing I will say,
I hope they don't run RPO. I think RPO would be a bad idea. I don't think they're
Corral
gonna run a lot of RPO.
No, it won't be.
No. If you listen to what Frank Wright and him said, Frank Wright often talked out of both sides of his butt. No disrespect, because he would talk about the RPO. Then he would turn around and talk, well, we also could use a pocket passer and we could work in either system. He kept referring to multiple different ways. So I think they're setting themselves. He set himself up to go either way. But RPO, if our idea is definitely to run an RPO system, then you'd be a dummy not to draft Anthony Richardson. That should be your pick if all you're going to do is run RPOs. But
he didn't say that we're going to strictly. He didn't say that we're going to strictly run RPO. He said he was going to add some of that to the offense.
Well, but when? He didn't say when.
Does anyone
both of those quarterbacks can run, though.
I mean, they can, but I'm not saying they don't. But I mean, they don't have to do a lot of it.
I have a question. Does anyone think that this coaching staff is going to be so rigid that we're going to force any of these quarterbacks to fit a system that they don't fit into? I
think they're going to challenge it around them.
Even if they do have RPOs, think about the guys that we have on our team. Thomas Brown, I mean, he came from the Rams. They weren't necessarily like super RPO dependent. You know what I mean? They were able to do some other things. And another thing that I think does, again, y'all might think I'm sounding biased, but it goes in the favor of Stroud. I feel like Stroud has spent far more time under center. And I feel like that's going to benefit him in the NFL when inevitably they do have to get under center. CJ has more experience doing that. And him being taller means that he takes longer strides in his back pedal. So he's able to get a little bit further back into the pocket. Where if you notice Bryce Young, he kind of has this walking backward type of motion. And he makes it work. So I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. But I feel like the depth from under center to get back on a 5-step drop, I feel like CJ Stroud would be better suited to do that.
Who has the quickest release?
Well, that's what I was getting ready to speak to, Twan. Because here's the thing. Most people think when I say, like, I should have clarified my statement. When I'm talking about RPO doesn't always, it's a run pass option, right?
All
the things that you just mentioned, Cody, the option obviously for running would be more in Anthony Richardson's favors, not Bryce Young. That's why I mentioned AR. But when we're talking about the intermediate pass, 6 to 10 yards, which is a slant route most of the time, or something typically a curl or something like that, Bryce Young's completion percentage with that kind of set with an RPO, this is what makes Matt Corral so deadly. The RPO makes a linebacker honest, so it frees up holes in the zone defense.
All day.
Right? All right. So if I'm bringing in a guy that's pinpoint accurate on slants and intermediate routes, then yes, the RPO would favor him mightily. But if I'm bringing in a guy for a more pro style system, like you guys say with Stroud, which I agree with, then yes, I'm going to use him for more of the pro West Coast style system because it fits him better with a longer hitch, with a shorter stride, or a longer developing motion, things like that. So I wanted to clarify what I was saying by that.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Hey, I wanted to go to Eric. I saw Eric had his hand up a little minute ago. I think he wanted to ask a question. Eric, you still there?
The question already got answered.
Oh, okay. All right, just making sure.
I want to bring something up that we're not talking about, and it's nothing to do with the quarterback. Joe Person started a major conversation on Twitter, just a few minutes ago. He reported that that scouts with Panther scouts and scouts at the combine and pro days said that the depth at edge rusher in this year's draft is basically top heavy. It's good in the first round, maybe the second or third, but after that, it's very lacking. Fact is, Joe Person said the argument that's been made to him is that there's nobody basically in the 4th through 7th that they're projecting to be there that ain't no better than what they currently have. So, what do
you think that means for us, Pickle?
Well, I believe if they're targeting a edge rusher, they'll be getting it in the second round. But at the same time, it also could mean depending on what's available, because like I was making a point in the chat a while ago, if you're the Panthers, you're drafting the 3rd round. Say you get a corner in the 2nd, you're get ready to pick your 3rd round pick, and you see a notable 1st round linebacker, inside linebacker is sitting there. You would have to be dumb not to draft him, right? So you draft that inside guy. That means Frankie plays more outside than inside. So I mean, I think a lot of it depends on who's available, but don't be expecting to targeting a lot of, because they don't need any more guys that's going to have to sit on the bench for a couple years to develop. They've already got those anyway. So
did you guys feel confident that number 39 is going to be a defensive player for us?
Oh yeah.
It has to be.
I don't like it for it too, but you have to ask this too, though.
I think it's going to be offensive.
If you're sitting there and hypothetically saying you have Cam Sutton sitting there, right? Is that the guy from South Carolina? Did I say his name right?
Cam Smith.
Yeah, Cam Smith. Sitting there, but you also have a top wide receiver that everybody loves is standing there too at 39. Who you can take?
I don't think we're going to draft a receiver in this.
I think they're going receiver because look, we only got Chark for 1 year.
That's a fact.
If Quentin Johnston is at 39, would you take him?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. That's a good point.
I don't think we're going to draft a receiver at all.
Remember, they wanted to sign Chark for a 3-year deal, and he refused. He wants more money. So that means that even if he comes here and he has a great year, he probably won't re-sign here again. No matter what he talks, because he talked the big talk to Detroit, and ended up signing here. So
if he has if he has a great year with us, then we can sit back down. Then we can sit back down in the negotiation table and then let obvious receivers on our team go, like a Shy Smith and whoever these guys just on our squad.
DJ Chark is a 1-year deal as of right now.
It's just 1 year.
Yeah, that's what I say. So you don't know.
Plenty of room.
I would make him prove it too. I mean, any team would have put him on that 1-year deal. He got to prove it, man. He stay hurt.
But you're missing the point.
This is a prove it deal.
The reason why he wouldn't sign sooner is Scott Fitterer wanted to give him a 3-year deal, and he wouldn't do it. Scott Fitterer wanted to give him exactly the same, or
that'd have been dumb.
Same deal.
That'd have been dumb.
Yeah, he bet himself.
That's part of what makes me believe they should go with a cornerback or an edge rusher in the draft, because you look at the wide receiver room chart, 1-year deal, prove it deal. If I'm not mistaken, he took less money to come to us than what Detroit was offering him. So if if Chart does indeed
Cody,
have
come on,
success
man.
with us this season, he's more than likely going to
I had to, man. It popped up on my.
Oh
It
my
popped up
gosh.
on my Twitter, and I had to show it, bro.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh my gosh.
They're
Hey
doing
John,
it.
hey John, you got it.
Ant-Man pretty cool. Ant-Man pretty cool when he hit that button. He drove up the shot, man.
Hey John,
hilarious.
even you
Yeah.
gotta admit that, with them talking about all the softness and him being short, then he's sitting in between his parents. He just looks so wholesome, man. Like, is he gonna be a dog or
Man, I tell you, when you
Bryce Young just seems so wholesome.
You guys should know by now not to judge a man by his size.
I know, but I don't judge no men by their size because I don't look.
And I'm going to show my age here in a minute. I'm getting ready to click on that. I'm going to click on my age here. But I remember watching, I remember hearing people complain because Steve Smith, he is a return man. He's not a real wide receiver. Can't believe they spent a 3rd round pick on a fucking return man. What a bad draft. I remember that.
Pickle, you making a 25-year-old argument. Hey,
Twan,
look.
I'm still
making
I'll say this, Twan. Last night I went to a friend's house, and he's a big time Panther fan, and he is 5'11".
Right.
And when we were talking about it, standing in the middle of the street, and I'm 6'5", and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, God, that is small for a football player, man.
And Bryce is an inch shorter. He's an inch shorter.
A quarterback, just a football player in general. It's like, man, but I guess that just makes it. I said something to Cody though, man, that this is. I mean, can you imagine how much of the story we become though if this kid does come here and he's successful? I'm talking because you've never seen it before. Like he would just, it'd be Barnum and Bailey, man. Like people would drive for miles and miles to come see this kid play because like
that would be dope, man.
And the Panthers would be the national story all the time because it's just like, how's this happening? Because it's so unconventional.
I hope y'all bought your tickets already because that ticket price about to be stupid.
They're gonna be expensive.
We go from we go from a first overall pick in Cam Newton, 6'5", 240 to a 5'10", 188.
And Kevin, you stole the words out of my mouth because look at how opposite Bryce Young and Cam Newton are. So yes, they both won Heisman's, but they went to rival football schools, Auburn and Alabama, and one of them is 6'5", 245 pounds. The other one is 5'10", 195 pounds. Cam Newton's biggest upside was the arm talent and the ability to run. And Bryce, it's his ability to read the defenses and affect the middle of the field and extend the play from the pocket.
And I'll say this, Cody,
they are literally the polar opposites of one another.
On top of what you said, just to speak to what you just talked about with Cam. So shameless plug. My brother, I knew about Cam before Auburn because my brother played against Cam when he was at Florida. My brother played for Troy University. And I remember my brother coming home, like, because they were getting smoked in the first half, Tebow and all them, and he played against him, and I didn't know who he was, and we didn't really watch the game or whatever, but I remember my brother coming home for Christmas and being like, man, listen, they got this kid, this quarterback, like this backing up Tebow. It was like, man, when he walked on the field, everybody was scared. He was like, I don't care how good you think you are. When you saw this man in pads, like, you were terrified. But running that fast, being that agile, at that size, ridiculous. And there's something to be said for that. Like, Cam was very intimidating. I mean, NFL players would say that. They wouldn't admit it, but they would say it. And you could see it when they played against him.
No, it's what's that corner? He played with the Steelers. He was doing a show a while back, and he was like, his first game when he was going up against Cam, it was Cam's rookie season. He's like, when Cam walked out onto the field, he's like, if that's how the hell quarterbacks are starting to get made, it's time for him to retire.
Was it Ryan Clark?
Yeah, Ryan Clark.
Yeah,
I still remember that. He's like, if that's how, bro, I couldn't imagine. Like I said it before. My older brother is he's 6'2" and some change, closer to 6'3" than he is to 6'2". I'm 5'10" on a good day. I'm 5'10", and I have to look up at this man anytime we're in the same room. Like, he's just a couple inches taller than me. So like Young like young size is something that people should take into account, should be worried about. Because if dude does, I mean, I think that goes for any quarterback because we saw it happen with Cam. If you have your quarterback in the pocket and he's taking vicious hits, I don't care how he's built, he's going to get hurt from that.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally enough, the Carolina Panthers actually have a pretty good offensive line. So if Bryce Young is drafted here, I think he's in pretty good shape to have success.
And I've said this multiple times now. If the Panthers do draft Bryce Young, I'm not worried. I'm really not. I feel like we have, if you're going to have a 5'10", 195-pound quarterback, you have to be able to protect him. And I feel like the Carolina Panthers have the best situation and setup for Bryce Young to be able to jump into this offense and be successful. With Miles Sanders and Adam Thielen, we can affect that short to intermediate range. And from the middle of the field to downfield, we have Hayden Hurst, DJ Chark, and TMJ that I feel like would really be able to take the top off of defense. And I have no doubt that our offensive line will give Bryce enough time to hit those dudes in stride. So, again, to me, it's just whenever you have to face those inevitable hits, no matter how good your offensive line is, you're going to get hit at some point in time. And Chris Sims made a good example. He was like, even the small hits look bigger on Bryce just because of how small he is. Like a normal impact, you're like, oh man, like in any moment, it's like, oh man, I'm gonna flinch having to watch this hit getting ready to come up, and it is worrisome, man. I haven't run across someone yet to doubt the talent of Bryce Young. It's always the size and to a lesser degree the arm talent. Which I'm not too worried about the arm talent, but the size, it worries people, man.
I do have a question for y'all.
The more y'all keep talking about his size, I keep saying CJ Stroud. I mean, I keep saying CJ Stroud.
I feel that. Like,
stop talking about his size,
bro. I watched Stroud. Like, I tapped out of this.
But that's to me the only difference. Like the only,
I tapped out this week because I had to take a break. But I will say this: the more I watched Stroud, I was like, man, I like this dude, man. Like,
exactly.
It's hard not to, man. But I'm gonna ask y'all. I want to ask y'all a quick question. Like, are y'all scared of Atlanta drafting AR?
Hell no.
I don't think they are.
If it's Anthony Richardson or Lamar Jackson, I'm not.
Yeah, I was about to say they're gonna get one or the other.
I think AR is going top 5.
I think Lamar, or I think Anthony Richardson is going to Seattle or the Colts.
Yeah,
and I don't think Atlanta's going to get near a quarterback in this draft unless
I kind of wanted to get Lamar Jackson.
I think there's too much love for Lamar. I think there's too much hype on Lamar. They're not going to guarantee him a contract. Right now, there is nobody even negotiating with Lamar Jackson. Okay, Lamar Jackson has screwed his own self out of
course they are.
Of money. You know they're not. Twan, he
they're
has
just not talking about
self. He went to the park, dropped his shorts, bent over, and said, "Stick it." I like it. That's what he's done when he refuses to hire an agent.
And Pickle, that's why I want him to come here. So he can drive you crazy.
An agent makes 3%. Calculate this, my friend. 3% of the contract. 3%.
Nah, man.
That's 3% too many.
I gotta push.
He's betting on himself.
Not if you're making that kind of money. You got to understand. He's wanting. If he already had an agent, if he had an agent from the get-go, he would have probably already had a contract.
Nah, I don't believe.
I think anybody else.
I think so too.
The problem is he's too pride. He's too stuck on himself. His mama might be a good accountant, but she damn sure ain't no NFL agent.
Which one?
I got to push back against that
because Xavier Woods. Yeah,
I've heard a lot of people say similar remarks about Lamar being overrated. You take Lamar is, and I say this in part because I am a huge Cam Newton fan. So every bit of me that rooted for Cam and still roots for that man to have success. I watch Lamar and I get similar feelings. Lamar is to the Ravens what Cam Newton was to the Carolina Panthers, and what the Ravens have been doing to him it's damn near identical to what the Panthers.
Put no weapons around.
They put no weapons around the man.
His
And then they
weapons
talk
are
about
tight
his
ends.
injuries. They talk about his injuries. I don't recall Lamar ever getting injured while he was running. He's gotten injured while he's been in the pocket trying to throw the ball. Now,
That
Lamar
would
is a
be a
much
fact.
better thrower of the football than Cam ever was. And for them to say, hey, we don't really want to pay you this money, I can understand them not wanting to fully guarantee his contract. But there's no argument to be had, in my opinion. He makes your team better. He is your damn offense for all intents and purposes.
They offered him $240 million.
Hey, let me.
here's the thing.
Hey,
If you're a
wait,
player,
hold on.
He
Time
said
out.
no.
Hey, let me welcome someone into the stream.
The
We got
GOAT.
Kendall to go. Kendall, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Cody? Man,
Kendall, what up?
I loved it last night, man. That was Cody Lack was the best show Twan ever did. You made Twan look like a superstar, Cody. You understand what I'm saying? What's going
I
on,
appreciate
fellas?
that, man. I appreciate that. That's love. Talk to me,
That was
Kendall. What you thinking about this #1 pick, bro?
Hey, y'all been hearing me talk about AR. Y'all been hearing me talk about Anthony Richardson. Everybody else, I don't know what y'all guys are talking about. But
All right, we'll talk to you
we
next
know,
week.
Yeah.
we know it's gonna be CJ Stroud. But if y'all want Bryce Young, y'all want a little Mighty Mouse, y'all might as well go ahead and rock out with Corral.
Yeah, I mean, tell them, Kendall, tell them, bro. Because I've been saying Matt Corral and Bryce Young are similar prospects, man.
And you exactly right, Cody. Ain't no difference.
Yeah, that's not true.
And by the way, that's not even
That's
a
not
knock.
true.
That's not even a knock on Bryce Young.
Kendall,
That's
you my guy, but thank you,
that's a test.
I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna let you guys touch nuts with each other, but that's not true.
Yeah. Well, y'all said RPO means run pass option, meaning. Did y'all see how Jalen did it just masterfully this year? You know what I'm saying? Because he can run, he can pass, and
He
that's
had a
an
line in
option.
front of him too.
Do you understand what I'm saying? What do we have, Twan? What do we have?
Oh, I'm with the
A
RPO.
bunch of crap. You understand
I'm
what
with the
I'm saying?
RPO.
So this
I'm
guy
with
can
the
come in
RPO.
and run an RPO system
Yeah.
because he can do both.
But not with Richardson.
That just not. Why not?
Nah.
Might not be smart enough.
Why not?
Dude, let me
If you
tell
don't
you,
trade up to number one,
A two-end system.
because you could have got him at 9, bro. You could have got him at 9.
Misdirection. No, you couldn't have. No, you're not. No, you're not gonna be able to get him at 9. No, you're not.
Yeah, I agree.
No, you're
I
not.
don't think we would have picked
No,
him
you're
at
not.
9. He'd have been
No,
gone.
you're not.
Kendall, I only got 2 pushbacks. I got 2
I already
pushbacks.
told
John, my man John, Carolina one. What's up, baby? Holla.
What's good, homie?
I already told y'all, and hey, look, and I'm gonna let John go.
Go ahead.
And y'all get ready to throw the tomatoes at me, right? John know this when I say this though.
Right upside the head, man.
AR-15 AR-15 is not getting picked in the top 20. You're not.
What?
He's gonna be the guy.
That's wild.
He's gonna be the guy that slides all the way down.
Put your wallet up, Twan. Put your wallet up. Put your wallet up.
I mean,
You're gonna do it again.
it's one every year. It's one that slides every year, bro.
And it'll be Bryce. It might be Bryce Young.
No, man, your
sit there
boy's too
playing
much of a
games.
project, bro. Your boy's
Might
a
be Bryce
project.
Young. Put your money up here.
Look at Willis. Hey, when was John? When was Willis? When was Willis supposed to go? When did he project him to go?
Don't even do that, Twan. Don't
No,
do
but where was he projected to go?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't compare that.
Third round. Go ahead, John. I mean, for real, bro.
Listen to Pickle talk about a Bailey Zappi.
AR-15 is a smoke screen.
Malik Willis can't hold AR-15, and y'all know what I'm
AR-15 is everybody's smoke screen piece.
AR-15 is a run back that's not out with
All right, let me let Big John.
Y'all not thinking, man.
Go ahead, Big John.
Twan, I will say this. I agree with the Levis situation. With the Willis situation. The only thing I will say is this. What we saw, even though Jalen had a better college career than Anthony Richardson, what they did with him in Philly is what most people are going to look at as a blueprint to how Anthony Richardson could become successful. So I don't see him falling because of Steichen being in Indianapolis. I don't think he gets past there. But what I will say is this. The thing, Kendall, that I would challenge you on with Anthony Richardson is this. I got 2 major questions. One, when you start asking people questions, you sit and listen long enough, people will tell you exactly who they are. when they asked him that question about his throwing power, and he responded by saying, "Hey, man, if I throw it hard, these guys better catch it." Nah, man. Listen, if you throw it hard and they drop it, you're going to hear from your receivers. That's something you got to be coached out of and learn how to throw with touch. That's one of the reasons why you have one of the lowest completion percentages in all of college football. Number two is this. That whole thing about the dinner I ate before I got there, I don't know if that was true or whatever that y'all was talking about, but it's just like, huh? Is that not quirky to y'all? That's
that
like
is.
It's super quirky. And so I'm like, when you're drafting the quarterback, you are talking about the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar organization. You have to show up like I'm not saying that Anthony can't be that guy or not that guy, but these are things that you have to look at because they turn into things when it comes to coaching. If you try to take a guy that's like, hey, I already know what I got, I already know who I am. How do you coach that out of him to make him what you want him to be? And that's where I think CJ has the edge. CJ's got the edge there all day.
Let me throw this on you, John. Let me throw
There's
this on you.
nothing you can say after that.
Yes, it is, Twan.
No,
okay, he said, yes, it is. He's saying things about AR, about I ate before I got there, and the receivers better catch it if I throw it hard or throw it soft. Okay, now we can go back to our old quarterback, which was a Cam Newton. Before we drafted him, who talked to him? Mr. Jerry Richardson, and told him, I want a clean cut dude. I want you to do this, no tattoos, this and that. This is what I want, and I'm going to draft you.
But that was one of the worst conversations ever.
Hold Twan. If he didn't have that on him, that guy pushing that narrative on him, you see what I'm saying? You'd have got the Cam Newton of later. This Cam Newton that we have right now, that's out there and don't know where he's at out in space. He made Cam focus.
Damn,
he made Cam focus.
No, he didn't.
Why you had to throw Cam under the bus like that, bro?
That conversation that he had with Cam Newton was completely out of order, man.
He made Cam focus himself.
We need to go get an old man to be.
That conversation was completely out of order. I wish the owner would tell me I can't have no tattoos and shit like that.
That young man. Some young men need focus.
All right, time out.
You got to think, you're still dealing with 21-year-olds.
Say he young boyed him.
Wait, hold on, Kendall. Let me say something about this real quick. Everybody would be real mad if we drafted Anthony Richardson on April 27th. However, I feel like, and I said this earlier, once we got him to Spartanburg and we got him in training camp and everybody saw him in his Panther jersey and the pads, I feel like everyone would start to get real excited.
No,
because now instead of being a pessimist and saying, "Oh well, he's not going to be ready," now you're forced to be optimistic and say, "Well, damn, if Anthony Richardson turns it on, this man has far more physical potential than any other quarterback in this draft."
I could really go a step further. You could make an argument. Now,
tell him, John.
This
talk
is
to these boys.
No, I'm gonna go in the Anthony direction for a second. You can make the conspiracy theory argument that the weapons that we got may reflect the reason why they want to go get him. Let me tell you why. Because one thing, when people talk about Lamar, the receivers will tell you the truth. AJ Brown not AJ Brown, but what's the other kid? Hollywood told you the truth. Yeah. It's hard playing with quarterbacks like that when you're a receiver because you never know where the ball is going. They don't play within the structure of offense. You know what I'm saying? So when you bring in more aged guys that have been around the block, guys that have made their money, have gotten, their yards, like a Thielen, Chark, a guy that needs to prove himself that he can stay healthy. Hayden Hurst, who's a, solid tight end, but just kind of been on rosters where he hadn't been the focal point. You bring in guys like that with the understanding.
Don't leave out Terrence Marshall Jr.
Terrence Marshall Jr. You bring in guys like that with an understanding of, hey, you may not get dealt the rock in succession like you would if we brought in like a precision guy like a CJ or Bryce. But let me tell you something. If you want a chance to win, if you want to be a bully, you want to build a bully on offense with this guy, like you'll go down in history if we bring home a Lombardi.
But you got to build him up. But see, I'm just going to say one sentence after that. John, you know it. Kendall, you know it. Cody, you know it. We did not trade up to number one to go get
AR-15. No, Kendall, I agree with him.
He did not.
I agree with him 100%.
But
Y'all can talk about that all y'all want to. That's not what we traded up for.
I agree with that, Twan.
If you traded up to Arizona, if you traded up with Arizona, what would that deal would have looked like?
Kendall, you hoping and dreaming, man. Kendall, you hoping and dreaming.
You wouldn't have had to give up DJ Moore, Kendall. You wouldn't have had to give up.
You hoping and dreaming, Kendall.
And listen, I agree with you. He might have the highest upside, but if you watch the film, there is no way that anyone comfortably thinks that Anthony Richardson is ready to start in 2023, bro.
No, he's not. Yeah, I don't even think he is. Yeah,
right.
I don't even think he is.
And that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to bet on the long term, I really don't think that you needed to move up to number one.
But
so
see, Cody,
that has me between CJ and Bryce.
I don't even know if I agree with that, man. And the reason I say that is this: the thing about him not being ready to start. Man, go look at the talent he was playing with. Nobody on that offensive side.
Thank you, John.
Nobody's going in the top.
True.
Like, he doesn't have a receiver that's going in the top 3 rounds.
But that was the same
offensive
thing.
lineman, or defensive lineman, or
I
defensive
agree.
back. Nobody from Florida is going in the draft.
Then y'all have to give that same argument to Will Levis.
I will. I'm not one of these like crazy people that's
I kept telling people Will Levis didn't have nobody to play with him. There ain't nobody from Kentucky going in this draft.
Twan, bro, they was in his lap, like pause. They was in that man's lap, like soon as the ball was snapped most of the time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The Colts will appreciate your kind support, Twan, because that's where Will Levis is going. I want to read you a little tiny bit from
Uncle Pick. Uncle Pick about to get me.
From the Charlotte Observer. Okay, he wrote this today. I read it earlier.
Okay, I'm listening. Let's go.
It says he's talking about Anthony Richardson. Sometimes he's a sniper. He'll rip deep out to the field from the opposite hash with ease. Some of his seam throws and outside the number vertical routes are NFL ready. He throws those concepts with anticipation, powered his way through every throw. But finding examples of touch throws or high arcing off speed balls is rare. He has one pitch, and he's described as a thrower, not a passer. So therefore, any running back can throw a ball.
And that
not
right there,
all
Pickle,
quarterbacks have to be a passer.
Yes, that right there is why I said
have to be a passer.
That whole situation about him saying in that interview that, hey, they better catch the ball. That's why it's a huge problem. What you just said right there, that's a humongous problem because you have to be, that has to be coached out of you.
Right. Right. If you imagine if Cam Newton, my friend, if Cam Newton came into the NFL and he got up on his podium and instead of supporting his teammates and shaking Steve Smith's hand and trying to learn what he could off the veteran receiver, he walked up and said, "When I throw you the ball, little man, you best catch that, fucker. Because I'm the quarterback and you will do what I say to do." Imagine what Cam would have done if he told Steve Smith that.
That would have probably been a. Do y'all remember there were rumors? I don't know if this is ever verified, but apparently Steve and Cam had gotten into a fight in the locker room or something like that.
And that's why Steve was in Baltimore, Cody. It was true.
Yeah,
that's why Steve ended up going to Baltimore, bro.
Hey man, let me welcome my dog Jay Issue to the show. Jay, what's up, dog?
What's going on, Cody?
Oh, Issue in here. What's good, Issue?
What's going on, Twan? Hey, they pissing me off, man.
You already know.
Hey, Issue.
Already know.
I had to get Issue in here, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, jump in on.
You hear the foolishness? I want you to get Kendall first.
Hey, I'm in the chat. I'm typing, but hey, y'all gotta hear me, bruh. I'm not having this AR situation. Y'all pissing me off. Y'all pissing me off with talking down on Stroud like this man done did something to y'all. What'd he do? Take y'all lunch money?
Get him, Jay.
You tell him.
Stroud took y'all lunch money?
I'm confused as to who's talking down on him.
No, he getting Kendall.
He was probably talking about Anthony. He was probably talking about
bringing up from Anthony Richardson.
And I told y'all last night. I don't see the eye of the tiger in CJ. I don't see that dog.
Oh, I disagree with you on that, Kendall. Kendall, I disagree straight up.
Well, you ain't looking.
In my opinion, Stroud has that eye of the tiger, man. I saw it against Georgia. I saw it against Michigan. They did not lose that Michigan game because of CJ, bro. I'm telling you, man.
What are y'all trying to see out of CJ? Y'all want him to hit backflips on the field to show that the eye of the tiger?
Yeah,
I mean, he need to win, baby, win.
The eye of the tiger ain't even real, man. Rambo wasn't real.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but that song was cool.
No, that was Rocky though.
There's no such thing as the eye of the tiger.
They sure are. You go poke one in the eye, and you'll find out what's doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can go poke CJ. I don't think he'll do nothing.
Hey, Twan, y'all got Michael B.
When he comes to Charlotte, you walk up and poke him in the eye, and we'll see what does who.
Hey, I
might
promise.
run back to the building and cry, Panther. I mean, Pickle.
Hey, Cody.
Hey, he might. Or he might go get security, and you might spend the whole season up there at the other place.
I promised Cody last night we was gonna do it on the show tonight, man. And y'all don't see this coming though. Y'all gonna hear it first though. Yo, John, One Carolina, what's up?
Yo,
what you trying to do? You trying to do that?
What you talking about?
What you think I'm talking about?
I recommended you to be a part of Twan's interview series, man.
Hey, drop the link, bro.
Twan's ready, man. It's a great show, man. He had me on last night. It's done.
Hey, John. It's done, John. I also told Pickle I want to give some fans an opportunity to have like a short segment, maybe a 30-minute segment. Hey, yo, Uncle Pickle, you ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
I love that Twan has become the Larry King of Panther Nation.
Larry King.
And I love it.
Geraldo.
Yeah, he said the Geraldo. I like that better, man. The Geraldo.
Pickle, you wanna do a 30-minute segment with me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my uncle, man. Y'all gonna have to hear him. Pickle old school. That's why I wanted to do him. John is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
John has a great football mind. Love talking to John.
Yeah, man. So
Absolutely.
there it is.
For sure.
Coming soon. I'm gonna hit these guys up. Coming soon. Be ready. I'm waiting for Shelatron to hit me back because it's supposed to be him next week.
But I ain't seen Shell in a minute.
Yeah, man.
Is he still making still making YouTube content?
Yeah, he's doing something with he told me he's doing something with gaming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
James Lanes. That's what's up.
That's
all. But he ain't really doing the Panthers content like that no more. But he's still a Panthers.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, look, like in my opinion, and I've said this so many times, man, it's down to CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. And to me, there's not a lot that separates them. But what does separate them is that arm talent and, the size. I feel like Bryce is also better at the line of scrimmage, changing protections, because Alabama was built better to do that. And he's better targeting the middle of the field. And that's something that normally short quarterbacks don't do too well. So you can make a case for any of them, man. But hey, I think CJ is leading the pack right now. And I have no way of knowing this, but I would bet that the Panthers feel the same, man. I think he's number one in the clubhouse right now.
CJ also has better ball placement, I feel like, all over the field.
Facts.
I mean, his placement of the ball is a thing of beauty, I feel like. I mean, just the way he places it down the field. I mean, just seeing the clips that some people are posting on Twitter, and they say his guys are open. I mean, he literally throws them open a lot of the time.
He puts that at a perfect spot, man. Even if they are wide open, which is, it's kind of it's a misnomer, like how much people say that the receivers are open. They're open a lot, but even when he puts the ball on them, it's at a spot where the defender has no chance of making a play on the ball, man. That's important. That's really
Very
big
important.
time stuff.
Very important.
So that's what I see from CJ Stroud. I think he throws the prettiest football of every quarterback in this year's draft.
And
I
I'll say
really
this.
do.
And Cody, that's the main thing to me now. That's the main thing of making that transition to the NFL, from the college game to the NFL game, is
Yeah.
that anticipation.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll say
Hey,
this, man.
Kendall, I got to get you too, Kendall.
You already know what time it is, because just call me.
Okay.
I know that most people look at the throw that he made in the end zone, like in a perfect placement for Marvin Harrison in that Georgia game. But honestly, the play of that game to me was the one where, it was they called a perfect play call because of how Georgia was playing so tight man coverage. And they used the running back, just basically ran a vertical seam route. He kind of faked in the beginning like he was going to stay there for the block, ran off. They gave him just enough time, and with pressure in his face, he throws a layered throw over top of the safety and drops in the bucket to the running back, who spins into the end zone for a touchdown. And there's that throw, man. There's probably 3 quarterbacks in the NFL that can make that throw.
Yeah.
And that's so when you talk about the layered throws and the ball placement, stuff like that, you spot on.
Yeah.
I said it last week. I said it last week, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Try to speak it into existence. All I want to see from this draft is CJ Stroud, #1 overall. And with the number 39 pick, let us get Drew Sanders out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
I know you've been high on Drew for a while,
bro. If not Drew, Cam Smith, obviously out of the out of cornerback university. Either of those two. Give me one of those. Both of them dudes got dog in them. That's all I need to see. Stroud, I need to get Sanders or Smith, one of the two.
I love Jonathan Mingo. And if he's on the board, it's gonna be a tough pick at 39 when you talk about because Drew Sanders is an excellent linebacker. And I think Jack Campbell will be off the board by then too. But
you think?
I think so. I think Jack is gonna increase, especially when you hear who he's training with. And I know that means a lot.
Everybody been saying that. Yeah,
it means a lot to us, obviously, but it just lets you know, when you hear that, you can tell that there's a cerebral level to the game that he has, similar to a Luke Kuechly, and you see that on film. So, I think he'll definitely be off the board before we get to him.
Could y'all imagine?
I definitely the guy out the quarterback for me. Cody knows. Jay Issue knows. Hey, look, man. We don't talk about the safety. We don't talk about the safety enough.
Yeah, he wants Robinson.
We got to go get Robinson for Florida State.
I just don't think we need another safety, though, Torn.
No,
man, he's not a safety. He's the safety.
We don't talk about the safety.
But Cody, you know what though? To chime in on that just a little bit, we could actually save some money by releasing Woods. To be honest,
hang on.
Thank you, Pickle.
To my guy Diesel Skills, I see you in the background. I need you to put in some earbuds because there's gonna be some background noise. Oh, you got them? All right, let me bring you in. My man Diesel Skills. Deez, what's up, bro?
What's up, guys? I hadn't even found the mute button on here yet. I'm just trying to get things set up.
Hey, Diesel. Hey, I want to say thank you to Diesel Skills, always supporting 704 Charlotte Bound show over there at C3
man.
Show.
And look,
much love, man. Appreciate that, brother.
Diesel Skills.
Love you guys.
If y'all go to CarolinaCatChronicles.com, my man has been making some incredible content on the website, written content for the website. Deez is the man. Deez, I appreciate you being on the show, man.
Wait, hold on. What is he doing again? What is he doing again?
Yeah, he's been writing articles for CarolinaCatChronicles.com.
Oh, okay. That's dope, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
I also
it's been a blast.
Quick, I think the C3 thing in front of y'all's game is fire.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Tony's helped me a lot. Anybody else who wants to jump on and try their hand at writing, Tony will help you along the way. I'm not a professional by any means. I just love the Panthers just like everybody else in the C3 chat. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. And also, let me welcome in my guy, JJ, Ohio State super fan. JJ, what's up, dude?
Yes, sir. What up?
Oh, we know who he pulling for there.
What up?
Mr. Stroud.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, Deez, let me get you in on this let me get you on this discussion, Deez. I believe you're a CJ Stroud fan, are you not? And if so, who do you have number one, and what puts them ahead of the other for you?
Man, that's crazy. Honestly, I wanted AR. I wanted AR at 9. I was hoping
There
that
you
would
go,
work out.
Deez. There you go.
I didn't know how we could beat Atlanta to AR, and I'm still worried about Atlanta taking AR. But since we moved to number one, Stroud's the guy. It's the more conservative pick. If we get 100, it's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. But because we went to number one, it's got to be Stroud or Young, and I'm okay with either one. All they're going to do, they're going to tailor the offense to whichever quarterback, right? So Stroud will probably have more throws over the middle. It'll be slants not slants. It'll be drags and outs for Bryce. I mean, that's all it is. And Reich will just change the play calling. I mean, it's that simple. And both guys got plenty of talent.
Do you feel like Anthony Richardson should be the pick?
Not at 1, Cody. No, because then we go 500 maybe with Dalton starting half the year.
Right.
And Reich's on the clock, right? I mean, he's only got 4 years. We can't be 500 for 2 years, and that might happen with AR. And that was the first article I wrote for the C3 Panthers podcast was Anthony Richardson, the unafforded luxury, because that's what it is. He's got to go somewhere like the Colts where they have Minshew in place where he can grow and learn, and then year 2, year 3, he emerges, and then he's that guy. But I would have been fine with us going 500 in Carolina and AR rushing for a couple of 100 yards. It would have been awesome. I would have been fine with that.
Well, I don't think we would have been able to get AR at number 9 ever since like a week before the combine.
AR is not going in the top 20.
I disagree, man.
Stop it. All right, yeah, you're.
Well, I'm gonna jump in your pockets. I'm gonna jump in your pockets.
Every year there's a smoke screen. Every year there's a smoke screen player. Last year was Willis.
Well, he's not Malik Willis. He's not Malik Willis.
No, everybody was saying. Look, okay, but everybody was saying Willis was going first last year.
That was that media bull last year because the quarterback.
And that media bull is continuing with Richardson.
The quarterbacks were garbage last year, Twan. The quarterbacks
the
was
media
garbage.
Hey, look, man.
So they had to hype them.
Hey, Jay Issue, let me tell them this though.
Hey, don't call my man Matt Corral garbage.
Last year, AR, look, your guy AR Richardson, he looked terrible.
No, he's not. No, the hell
he looked bad, man. He looked bad, bro.
Aren't you a Will Levis fan?
Who?
No, he didn't.
Is who a Will Levis fan? No one that I know. No one around these parts.
Oh no! When we first started, when we were talking early, I was like, Will Levis was somebody we should look at. But
because we was at 9, that don't mean.
I remember he was a.
But I was saying at 9, at the 9 pick, not at 1 and 2.
Now let's rephrase ourselves. We said the quarterbacks last year were all garbage. Let's rethink this.
They said this year was garbage.
Yep, they did.
You have some quarterbacks that were drafted last year that were decent. Fact is, them quarterbacks looked a lot better than the quarterbacks that everybody wanted to look good. Because a lot of folks kept saying, we can't wait to see Malik Willis play. Well, Malik Willis had his opportunities and looked like warmed over trash. Fact is, the guy that nobody seemed to want, that got drafted after we spent a 4th and a 3rd round pick to trade up in the 3rd round to draft Matt Corral, that Washington drafted later on, looked really good, looked pretty good in them 2 games he played. And even fact of the matter is,
Sam Howell.
Even Desmond Ritter, the guy I wanted to draft, looked pretty decent last year.
That's who I wanted to pick. That's who I wanted.
Who?
And let's not.
So we would be stuck with those guys on our team right now.
Let's not.
Well, I mean, if you were going to take somebody in the 3rd round, though,
was drafted in the 7th round that nobody thought was going to be anything.
At least the guy I picked last year as a starter.
Mr. Relevant.
Purdy.
So let's just say the scouts last year that scouted the quarterbacks, they all sucked.
So let me just say this: I vehemently disagree with the take that Richardson's gonna fall, Twan. And the reason why, hey, yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think that is because, man, look, fans are already putting out photoshops for Anthony Richardson with the Colts, man. Like I'm telling you, they
wasting their money. They do it every year.
They love this dude, man. And
Don't worry about him, Cody. Don't worry about him. I'm gonna show you. Don't worry about him.
Knowing what Shane Stitchen did for Jalen last year, that's a match made in heaven, man. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be a Colt.
It also feels like they're way more QB needy teams. Like there are way more teams that need a quarterback early in the draft.
Guys, it's smoke screens.
Even Will Levis is going to go top 10. No, it's not.
The Falcons are drafting Will Levis. You heard it here first, bro.
Okay.
Bro,
Twan,
they do. We all party.
Raiders smoke screen AR.
It might be. I was gonna say, Twan, to the AR guys, man. I'll tell you this: it may be a smoke screen. Who knows where that guy goes? But all I know is this: if he figure it out, oh my gosh,
oh my God! And if he go over there with Shane Stitchen, and Shane Stitchen can go over there and do the same thing he do with Jalen, with Anthony. Oh my God!
And AR should want to go. He should want to go later. That way, he winds up going to a mid team or a better team where he can sit behind somebody for a year. Because he ain't no starter right now. We can all agree.
He
ain't no starter.
I would want to. If I'm him,
I'd rather him sit behind somebody on a good team and wait his turn.
John, may I ask you a question?
Do I now?
I need to ask a question too.
He seems like the kind of player to be good.
Where do you think Hendon Hooker's going to go?
Clean edit right there. That is
That's
clean
fine.
edit.
Pick. I think
Hooker's trash.
that is raw. Hendon Hooker to me makes. He could really go anywhere, but like where it would make sense to me for him would probably be, oddly, Baltimore.
That's the goat right there.
Can I point out real quick because the image that Cody has up on the screen, the helmet, our helmets kind of look white. Can I just point out how dope it will fucking be if our base helmet this upcoming season is
the white helmet, like
DJ tweeted.
Yeah, DJ was hinting at that before he got traded. Some matte white helmets. Hey, listen, people have been talking about this. I kind of feel like a uniform redesign is imminent, and I don't feel like it might not be this year, but there
Take the stripes away.
There are two things I feel are imminent. That is, we're going to try and redesign the outfit, our uniforms, and I think in about a year or two, David Tepper is going to be asking for a brand new football stadium.
I agree.
Oh, Cody, the uniforms is going to be this year. I don't know if you guys noticed on the site, but they put all the Panthers uniforms, all the jerseys at like half price, and we was the only team that did that.
That's what prompted everybody to start making their edits.
And we were the only team that did that.
In my opinion, they don't really need to touch anything on the jerseys. It's my biggest issue with our uniform is the silver helmet.
What would you guys think of making the black helmet the main helmet?
That's what I want the most. I think the black helmet should be the main helmet.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna agree with the person that said that they don't think that we should change. Like I love the classic block varsity looking number. Like I don't know, it's something like when Washington was changing their whole situation, which is to me trash now. But when they were still the Skins and they changed and they took the guy off the side of the helmet and just did the numbers and sort of looked like Alabama, I thought that was fire. I don't know why. I thought that was fire. I just like the old school jersey look. I love the old school jersey look.
When they were the football team.
Yeah,
the
it's just
Eagles.
traditional.
What about the Eagles?
Like Green Bay. You know, some people do it tasteful. Like I just hope we don't jump off the ledge like Tampa did, man, with the alarm clock numbers and nothing crazy like that. You know?
Yeah, and cursive numbers and
yeah,
none of that. Hey, look, guys, I'm about to hop off, man. Believe it or not, I'm about to get ready to watch South Carolina State and Iowa go at it.
I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
The bad guy.
Did girls basketball play today between man, who was it?
Both
South
of them.
Carolina.
Second game is right now. South Carolina playing right now.
They win.
And that girl from Iowa, Caitlin Clark, man, she out here.
Yeah, that's
throwing
the
it
girl
from the logo.
That's the girl that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter. She played yet?
They playing right now. Yeah.
What's the score?
Iowa 13, South Carolina 8.
Oh, it just started. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, Twan, tell them where they can find your content, bro.
704 Charlotte Bound Show, man. Got the new series out, Twan versus everybody. John, I'll get with you and the guys, Kendall, Pickle. We're gonna go from there, man. Saga continues.
No
All right.
doubt.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you,
stuff,
Twan.
Twan. Good
That's
stuff.
love,
All right,
bro.
yeah. Hey, look, and I want to
Great
shout
work,
out Cody's
Sean.
mom. Cody's mom was in the chat last night, man. She loved her baby.
She's awesome.
I mean, hey,
dope,
when I had to get baby pictures and not even baby pictures, but just my young ass to send to Twan.
Real.
Yeah, I had to talk to mom.
Hey,
and
she
break
sent
up.
me she sent me a note today on Twitter, Cody, man.
Yeah,
That
man.
really touched me, bro. That
Yeah,
touched me. Man.
I just got my mom to make a Twitter account, man. I'm like, she
That
might
was
as well.
dope. That was dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you, Twan.
All right, guys.
All right, peace and
Thanks,
love.
John.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Who's making these edits on Twitter, Cody?
Right. So this is Tanner Anvil, TLA artwork. Yeah, definitely follow this dude, man.
And the graphic god, he's good too.
Oh, I need to check him out.
Cody, I'm gonna
Yeah.
send you something, buddy. I'm gonna send you something on Twitter. I'm gonna send you something on your Twitter. You gotta show this tonight. You gotta show this. You may already. I just noticed this. This is cool.
You already sent it?
Just now. You gotta show this on the show. This is cool. There you go.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's about disrespectful, ain't it?
Dude, the internet is undefeated, man. The internet is undefeated, man. It's just hilarious, man.
I hope this little man comes into the league and tears.
Just burns it up.
I hope you do
Burns
too.
it up.
Just not with Carolina.
If I'm the social media guy for Carolina, I'm saving all these because if we draft him, I'm going to make him sit down and watch all this before every game.
That's
Dude,
been my
I-
biggest
don't-
knock on him, man.
time
That's
to
been my
show him.
biggest knock.
But you know what's so
Him
crazy
being
about that,
little.
Kendall? That's a knock. I think that when we look at what happened last year with Carolina, right, and we saw Baker Mayfield bad at pass after bad at
Yes,
pass after bad
yes,
at pass.
yes.
Minus,
We're scarred.
here's the thing, minus the interception that he threw, which was indeed a batted pass. That would be PJ Walker against Atlanta. PJ Walker was one of the leaders in the NFL with no batted passes. How tall is he?
Right.
Somebody want to
Yeah,
answer
like-
that?
5'11".
Yeah,
5'11".
Yeah, like
5'11". He's
Under
5'11".
Bryce
He's
Young is PJ
5'11",
Walker.
an inch taller.
Cody
He's an
has
inch-
mentioned-
He's actually a less than an inch taller than Stroud or than Young. Because I looked
But
all this up. But
PJ
Stroud,
didn't hang on to the ball like Baker did.
No,
Baker was
but
always
Stroud-
pump faking.
Yeah. Stroud has a different throwing motion. And I chatted with some folks on a different website about it because I was just curious on his throwing motions. And I got to look, and he has Stroud or Young actually throws the ball up where Baker was throwing it out. Baker wasn't trying to throw over anybody, where Young's done the same throwing motion his whole life.
Yeah.
You know, he's used to this, so he knows. Let me see if I can hunt that up. But he has
It's a high
much different
release.
throwing motion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. Hey, I'm not worried about Bryce not being able to.
Batted passes.
Yeah, having
Right.
batted passes. That's not one of my worries.
Yeah,
JJ,
Watch
do
him
it.
get in the
J-
I just don't
NFL
even see
and
how that's a
completely
narrative though,
struggle
because
with that.
where he played. I mean, the division he played in, man. I can't understand how that's even a narrative. Like the short.
Nah,
thing.
Cody's mentioned before. Last year's 2 leaders in batted passes were 6'5" Josh Allen and 6'5" Justin Herbert.
That's a fact.
So it's not really a height thing anymore. It's more so a how defenses play your quarterback.
It's not to me. It's not his height. He's also small, man. I mean, and I think the whole time to get bulk on him and gain weight, he's gonna struggle, almost like a
Not
Brian
gonna lie
Burns.
though, I think it was Kyler Murray's rookie year against the Rams. There was like one offensive drive where he got 2 straight batted passes down, and they
Cody,
were
look
down
in the
by like
private chat.
20. He looked like he just wanted to quit right on the field, bro. That shit was funny, honestly. That's when I started liking Kyler.
This is probably opening up a can of worms, and I apologize in advance. But because you guys, whoever it was that brought up Baker Mayfield, it reminded me of something. It reminded me of something I was going to call in to the Tuesday show and leave a comment on, but I decided not to. But obviously, Cam, I want to say twice now I've heard Cam say that there aren't 32 quarterbacks in the NFL better than him. The fact that Baker Mayfield has another freaking job in the NFL kind of proves Cam's point, because you're not about to stand here and tell me that any version of Baker Mayfield is better than Cam Newton. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like I said, I'm probably opening up a can of worms, and I apologize. But
you talk about the Rams, and you talk about Baker Mayfield. He went to the Rams and had 5 days to learn the playbook and executed a win under Sean McVay. Man, that's coaching. That's play calling. That's scheme.
More like the fucking Raiders are dog shit and can't defend.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying. That they had the coaching staff and the players available to help Baker
And we had
Mayfield.
Matt Rule. Congratulations.
Yep. No, we had McAdoo, and McAdoo was horrible. He ran CMC up the middle all year, straight up the middle.
Stop it.
Did they do
I
that
will
with him
not
in the
take
Niners?
this McAdoo
No.
slander.
You know, not
That
for
man set
nothing.
the
I think
franchise
that was.
record for rushing yards. We will
think-
not slander him.
I think that was
Okay.
JB
I won't slander Ben McAdoo, but I'll say
Under Wilkes. Under Wilkes.
Ben McAcrap is trash. If Steve Wilkes
No, I'm
actually
joking. He's
had
not
a
good.
better offensive coordinator than Ben McAcrap, then he might have been a head coach.
Go ahead, John. Then I'm gonna play this video
I don't know
real quick
about all
about
that.
Bryce. Go
No,
ahead, John.
the one thing, because if any of you guys watch my channel, I was hardcore Baker, like pause, but and I'm cool with that, because I mean the truth is this, like with the Bryce and the CJ situation, like whichever one of these guys draft, I'm in full support. But the thing is though, is that I do agree with one comment that I heard made. You know, we really didn't get to see the, I guess, best of Baker, because I mean, honestly, the play calling was awful. Like
That's
everything.
fine. I promise you it's not that good.
I mean,
listen,
that's not what I'm
watching
saying.
Browns games when I lived in Ohio
Not going to finish,
was
John.
not a treat.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, how
Let
about
John
that
finish.
year that he took them to the playoffs? But that's neither here nor there. But the point is, like I said, we saw a better Sam Darnold. We saw a better PJ Walker towards the end of the year last year, and almost literally fell into the playoffs. You know, if we beat Tampa. So, you know, coaching is, like you said. Somebody said coaching is everything. I think it was DZ Skills said coaching is everything. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
By the
You're
way,
gonna see it this year.
Yeah, go ahead, JJ.
I just want to put out there, so everyone that thinks like Baker helped them get to the playoffs, if you just go look at that schedule real quick again, they were holding all these weak opponents, because they had a weak schedule that year. They were holding multiple teams to 10, 13 points and scoring 17 flat each week and doing a whole lot of Nick Chubb and Myles Garrett. It really wasn't because of Baker Mayfield. Like,
That's interesting.
I
When did that?
promise you.
Can you answer me a question real quick? I just got a this is an odd question. Like, what was the last playoff game they won before him?
Listen, if you go watch that, Jarvis Landry took a slant 40 yards for a touchdown, and Nick Chubb took a screen pass for 40 yards for a touchdown. Everything
But he
else
got a
was the
point.
defense.
Talking about the Browns or the Rams?
Exactly.
He's talking about the Browns.
Wait,
He's
hold
talking
on,
about the Browns.
time out.
He do got a point.
Go watch
Man,
that
can
game.
I
Baker Mayfield didn't do
interject here, man?
shit.
Like Baker Mayfield, he's an okay quarterback, but he was
Yeah, I
overdrafted, man.
guess.
He
Mhm.
was
Yeah, for
he was he
sure.
was
Yeah.
overdrafted.
Oh, I agree with
and
that.
and he was never gonna be the guy
Hey,
for
Cody,
Carolina, man.
I
Like,
had
Yeah.
Josh Allen going number 1 that year. I can't believe they took Baker.
yeah, man. I
Yeah.
mean, dude. I mean, when you look at Baker Mayfield, if you're gonna be small, you have to have some type of trait that makes you a cannot miss prospect. With
Bryce
Yeah.
Young
Bryce Young,
clears Baker.
with Bryce Young, he has that maneuverability from inside the pocket, looking downfield. Russell Wilson was strong and fast. Drew Brees was a surgeon. Baker Mayfield was none of those things. So I
He
mean,
changed the culture, though.
I mean, yeah, maybe
Yeah,
for a year
that's
or
all
so.
he was.
Joe
A
Burrow,
media
hold on.
darling. That's all he
Yeah.
was. A
Hey,
media darling.
When
I want
I said the Bengals
Yep.
were going to be good the year that they were, it was mainly because I said Joe Burrow is what Baker Mayfield dreams and
I
his
can't.
wet dream wishes he was.
Who made that comment that he changed
I
the
can't.
culture?
I can't buy that,
Somebody made a comment and said he changed the culture.
bro.
It was me.
I completely agree with that. That is one.
Yeah.
It's facts.
That's a
Yeah.
fact,
Yeah.
though.
That's
a
all
fact,
he was.
though.
A media darling.
And
That's
guess
it.
what? If
Who,
that's
John?
like, let me take it a step further. If
They
Bryce,
believed in him.
if Bryce or CJ don't pan out, because I keep hearing this conversation about 10 years from now, I don't care if these guys come in and they help change the culture of Carolina, where we have like we talking about Super Bowl, all this stuff. We need back-to-back winning seasons first.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Say it again. I'd rather have that than anything else because that's such a terrible stat for us
One
to
step
have.
at a time.
Never have
One
back-to-back winning
step
seasons.
at a time.
Yeah.
Hey,
John,
I wanted to play this video that Pickle sent. This is about Bryce
Here's
Young
really, I
and
think,
his
the best
throwing
angle that we
motion.
get with his release. So we can see him getting that front foot down and immediately starting to rotate. And as he's going through the throw, you can see how he's continuing to rotate throughout the motion and how fast he gets the elbow into position. So you can see his elbow is locked in here. Now he's really getting that wrist to come up and through. Here's another example of him getting to the back of the drop and having to very quickly get that front foot down. So notice how fast he loads back, gets that front foot down. Now he's already has that back heel off. It's about rotating within that hip and being able to get his hips to clear as he is releasing. Here's a good example, though, to be able to see him getting that foot down, and he already has that heel off the ground. I see a lot of guys that until their front foot hits the ground, then they start getting the heel up, and I think that is a big mistake when it comes to being able to throw the ball. And then from here, now he's coming up and over the top.
So I feel like that he kind of said something that I've been saying about Bryce, and I mean, tell me if y'all took something different from that. But that right heel, when he's throwing, that plant foot on the back, the heel comes up a little bit fast, like almost a little bit too fast. Like I feel like he would be able to generate even more power if that right heel wasn't coming off at the ground before that ball comes out of his hand. Am I
if you watch the
wrong?
Colby's, no. If you watch the QB School, which is a great YouTube channel as well,
Yeah.
he talks about being toesy as a quarterback, and that's what Bryce is doing.
I will answer. I would ask a question. Though.
Do you not? I'm sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
Do you guys not realize? I think they had the same issues with Drew Brees at one time. Am I wrong? Y'all not remember that?
I do.
Yeah, but Drew Brees had the
but I mean, Drew
decency to
Brees
have a
developed.
Dante.
Over time. Drew Brees developed his own way of working with it and successful. I'm not saying that I don't want to go out there and say that. I'm not trying to say Bryce Young's a Drew Brees, but
I would agree with
That's been my. To be fair, that's been my comparison for Bryce. If we're gonna give Joe Burrow as a comparison to Stroud, which I think is warranted, to me, my closest comp for Bryce has been Drew Brees, and that's a hell of a comp. But that's who I'm picking. Go ahead.
I would
John.
ask this question.
But see, you got to think. No quarterback is perfect. They all think about it. If they have a 10-year, 13, 20-year career, they always going to work with a quarterback coach. At one point in time, they might change their throwing motion throughout their career. You never know. They always working on it. Always working on it.
That's a great point.
And I would say to that commentary, because that is just what we're doing with all of these quarterbacks. So, like, I agree with Kendall when he said, you made an excellent point when you said that they're always going to be working with quarterback coaches. But the only thing I would ask is, like, how did that affect him carving up Georgia 421 yards? What about Kansas State, 5 touchdowns in a bowl game when many people said he shouldn't play? You know, like, I just wonder, like, how does that affect 80% completion percentage within 6 to 10 yards down the field? Yeah. Like, against what would be the closest comp to NFL competition in the SEC. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think at some point, just like with CJ, you just start looking at so many things and we getting so, like, just tired of all this that it's nitpicking, honestly.
Yeah.
By
exactly.
the way, I just want to say statistically, the most accurate quarterback in NFL history with the minimum of 1,500 throw attempts is Joe Burrow. So CJ is definitely a great comparison.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's
My only issue with that was
excited as hell for this upcoming season because, like, whomever they draft, whomever starts, the team, like the entire team composition, from the players all the way through to management of the team. It even seems like Tepper has learned some lessons over these last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've stated in the past that I wanted Wilkes to be the head coach. Obviously, that's not what took place with the Panthers. Reich has come in.
We didn't.
Reich has come in. Apparently, like, whatever plan, like, if this is what Reich preached or pitched to Tepper and Fitterer, if this is what that man told them and this is what got him hired, I'm trying to figure out what kind of genjutsu, what type of shotgun gun this motherfucker is using to be able to see into the future. Because again, like, this team is just the overall build of the team through this offseason so far, and we still have a draft coming up. You still have training camp and all of this other stuff. Like, there's other moves that can be made to improve the team on paper, obviously. But it has me excited as all get out because it seems like the Panthers have not only, hey, we got the players we need. You got young guys in Brian Burns, Frankie Lou, Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn, Terrace Marshall. We have all of these players and they're young and they've shown they balled out at times. Now you bring in a head coach that actually has a vision, knows what the hell he's doing, and he's bringing in other talent at the coaching positions. I am genuinely excited.
Me too.
Just to see what happens.
And Cody, I will settle. This will be my last remark on this situation. I'm
probably getting ready to get everybody's last remarks. We're going on 3 hours and 20 minutes. So we've done a full show tonight.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody for being here. Go ahead, John. Give me your final thoughts, and I'll go down the road and I'll get everybody's final thoughts and promote all the content you would like to promote.
Yeah, man. So my final thought on this is this. Because of just how talented CJ is, I don't know that this is a fixable issue when you're talking about a quarterback under pressure when things are in chaos. If consistently he can show that that's something that he can fix, I think he'll be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in this league in the next couple of years. I honestly believe that, and I do like Bryce a lot, but if the consensus is going in that direction, then I'm on board, man. So that's it. That's all I got.
Is that Panthers Uncensored, by the way?
Huh?
Is that Panther Uncensored, by the way? Or the
No,
YouTube
that's
or whatever?
that's John. That's Big John from One Carolina. Yeah, that's my
he sounded
guy.
familiar.
Yeah, man. Hey, John, tell them where they can find your content, man. John puts out some wonderful content at One Carolina, man. Tell them where they can find you online.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. One Carolina. Just search One Carolina on YouTube, the One Carolina on Twitter and Instagram. And man, I'm a huge fan of the C3 Panther podcast. I have a any and everybody that's a contributor on my show knows that there's only one day that John don't make content. One and one only, and that's on Tuesdays because I am a huge fan of the C3 Panther podcast. So I'm always watching, I'm always learning, and I enjoy what you guys are doing. And I got to say this, I kind of snuck it in earlier, But I think the coolest thing in all of Panther fandom is seeing people start to put the C3 in front of their Twitter names, man. That is dope.
Yeah, man. Hey, we roll deep like a gang out here, man. C3, we out here, man. You know, yeah,
Yes,
we've done a good job building up our, we want a community where all the fans feel like they're a part of what we're doing here, man.
Oh yeah.
So I think that we're doing something right. John, I appreciate you, brother, as always. Yeah, man. Y'all make sure and go and subscribe to One Carolina. Like I said, love John's content. John, I appreciate you, man.
No doubt, I'm tapping out, man. Y'all be good.
Facts will do.
Peace and
Hey,
love,
Cody,
man.
I gotta
All right,
hop
John.
off too.
All right, John.
Everyone
All
have
right,
a great
JJ,
weekend.
give me some final words then, man.
Oh, draft CJ Stroud. Dropped an edge cornerback or wide receiver with that 39th pick. Unless we can trade up to get JSN, of course, pair the dynamic duo. Hope everyone enjoys C3. Better be back next Friday.
That's it.
We show out for C3. Subscribe, like, join the membership, and hope you all have a great weekend.
Appreciate you, JJ. You're the man, dude. All right, let me go to my man, Eric. Eric's been hanging Sean the whole stream, man. I appreciate you. Sometimes I got to filter people in and out if I don't have enough people, or if I have people wanting to come in, I got to filter some people in and out. Y'all know how it goes. But Eric, I appreciate you, bro. Any final words you have for the C3 Panthers podcast?
I appreciate you having me on, and all I gotta say, it just feels good to have some genuine optimism in the off season, and I can't wait till April 27th.
That's it. I love it, man. Appreciate you, Eric. And listen, man, we were joined by Kendall the GOAT. Kendall, you're my dog. I appreciate it every time you jump in, man. You bring the energy. You make it fun, man. Give me some final words, man.
Hey, no doubt, man. Cody, like you said, man. Yeah, like I said, I love that interview last night, man.
Appreciate
Y'all
you,
been
brother.
doing it. C3 is one of the first Panther podcasts I've been watching. Like I said, about the longest running there. I mean, you and Tony, y'all been doing it, man, for real.
Yep. Appreciate you, man.
I finally started putting out some content over on Black Panther Podcast. Go over there. I'm doing a morning show now on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Come check me out around from about 11 to 1. And then we got another one, Mudding Outlaws, where we're doing a little bit of four-wheeling and motorcycle riding, man.
Yeah,
So,
all right.
Yeah, so come check us out. Come check us out on
I'm gonna have
Black
to come
Panther
through. I'm gonna have to come through one time, man.
No doubt, Cody. You know you're always welcome. Like I said, I do it in the morning at 11. On Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Black Cat Panther Podcast. Black Cat
Panther Podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Y'all, I'm
doing that morning show.
You got a brand new subscriber in me, man.
No doubt. Now come on through, man, and talk your junk. You know what I mean?
You know I will. That's on God, man. That's on God. I promise I will, man. That's love. I appreciate you, Kendall.
No doubt. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on off, Cody, man. Love you, boy.
All right, love you, man. Appreciate you, Ken.
Shout out, Kendall.
See you,
All right, now. All right, everybody.
Peace and love,
All right,
brother.
Kendall.
Hey, man. Jay Issue, man. I appreciate you jumping on, man. Give me some final words for the free for all, bro.
Shit. Shout out Cody and C3. Shit,
Appreciate you,
I
brother.
appreciate the welcome. Every podcast, I'm there talking my ish.
Yes, sir.
I'm ready for April 27th. Shit, I'm just learning. I mean, I hear the fans. I hear their point of view. So, I mean, I'm learning and trying to keep my cool at the same time. So, I appreciate everybody. And shit, we just got to keep pounding.
That's it. Keep pounding. Appreciate you, Jay. Until next
Thank
time,
you,
brother.
Jay.
Yeah, man.
right,
You're the man, Jay. Hey, man, let me go to my man, JD864. JD, you know I love talking to you, bro. The ultimate optimist of Panther Nation. Give us some final words, man, before we get up out of here. Hopefully we're not trapped in a shotgun and do some dumb shit like draft Will Levis or something like that, you know?
Yeah, man. Hey, it's more than usual, man. I always got to give a shout out to you guys, Cody, you particularly,
Appreciate you, brother.
the Friday free for all. Like I said, C3 as an entirety, in its entirety. PMP, Coltrane, Shellatron, all the guys. Like, I'm fairly certain C3 was the first podcast I found when I was just trying to find, like, I was hungry for Panther information, so I ended up like watching some of y'all old streams. I wasn't even catching anything live.
Yeah.
And then I realized that, oh, these dudes are going live. Let me go ahead and subscribe. Like I
Yeah.
said, love the content, bro. Love what you're doing with the Friday free fall.
Appreciate
The
you, man.
opportunity for people to come in and just shoot the shit. I'm trying to stop cussing, so I apologize.
Hey, you're good, man. We all cuss like some sailors on here, bro.
Yeah, it's a habit I picked up when I joined the military. It got real bad. It is what it is. All in all, man, appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah,
Everybody, that's if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button.
That's
C3
it, man.
It's for the people, and as always, keep pounding.
Keep pounding, man. And like JG said, you know, especially on the Friday show, I'll let everybody, you know, plug their content. If you're inspired to create your own content, do it, man. That's what me and Tony did, man. We went to work building a community. We never took days off, and this is what it ended up becoming, man. So I appreciate each and every single one of you that really rock with C3. I want to give another plug to my man D's Ill Skills, writing some incredible articles on CarolinaCatChronicles.com. You've been doing a great job, man. Give us some final words on this Friday free for all, and thanks for joining us, man.
No, it's a privilege and an honor. I appreciate it, Cody. This is, really uncomfortable for me. I'm not used to being in front of the camera like you are. You do this like 10 hours a week. It's almost, it looks natural, right? For you, and the draft stuff you did this week, the podcast with Twan, of course, the Tuesday show. Man, you guys are doing a killer job. So shout out to C3, and shout out to the chat, all these people that support us. And we're really starting to come together. These last 2 weeks for C3 have been absolutely amazing. I've seen so many new people, so many new subscribers, so many new super fans. Please become a C3 super fan. Get in here. Let's push this C3 together. Let's hook up on Twitter. Hey, if you're on Twitter and you got a small account like I do, let's hook up with some other C3 members and let's like and retweet each other. Let's work together. Let's push our agenda. C3 is the best podcast, and if we work together, we're going to be the loudest ones going into this new era for the Panthers. Right. There's going to be a lot of people coming on, just like they have this month and last month when we traded up. There's a lot of people coming on, and the Panthers are exciting right now. And we need to band together, and we need to push C3 up. We're gonna be the number one podcast. There's no doubt in my mind, because this community and what we've created is special. And Tony has said it so many times. This is for the fans, and this is by the fans. And we need more support from C3. We need more writers. We need people. Hey, write a filler article. Yeah, write anything. Tony's going to fix it. He's going to make it good. It's going to look good on the website. It's already professional. What you guys got to understand is Tony and Cody have already got 10 years, a decade into doing this. All we have to do is contribute a little bit each day, and we'll help those guys get over the top. They can't put in 60 hours a week into the podcast. So they need a little bit of help. Yeah, I know, right? And we all got tons of opinions and tons of things to say. So let's get out there, let's say it, and let's band together and let's do this thing. Other than that, check me out at D's Skills on Twitter. I'm doing just some little photo edits every day. Simple stuff, things I do on my lunch break and post online. But if you like fan art and maybe you want to do some fan art too, I've already talked to Tony about getting some fan art up on the website, and maybe that's something we can do. So let's share this Panthers fandom, and let's be excited together for what this journey we're about to take.
Yeah, dude, that was one hell of a speech, D's. You're the man, bro. And let me tell you, you're helping one of Tony's dreams come true, because he had a big time vision for that website. And in recent years, we haven't had much much action on the website. Our focus has been on the podcast, but you've been great, man. And like Dee said, if anybody would like to test out their writing chops and you want to write some articles for CarolinaCatChronicles.com, hit up me and Tony, man. We'll make it happen. Like Dee said, we're continuing to try and grow C3 Panther Nation. Deez, you're the man, brother. I'm so happy you came on. Next, let me Evan Sports Talk. You've been here the entire time, brother. I appreciate you, man. Give us some final words for the C3 Panthers podcast, man.
Yeah, man. I'm just happy to be here, man. I love this. I mean, this is awesome. A channel that allows their fans to come on and talk, and I just love it because I mean, there's not much other fan bases that do this and interact, I feel like, as much as this fan base, and that's what makes me love this so much. And yeah, I just love coming on here, giving my opinion, hearing other people's opinions, even if I don't always agree with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's awesome. This community is growing. I'm super excited for April, which starts tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And it is draft month. We're less than a month away from the draft, and I'm so excited to see who we pick with that number 1 overall pick. Still have my preference, but I'm fine with both.
Yep.
But yeah, man.
I love it, man. I appreciate you jumping on here, Evan. It's been a great time hanging out with you.
Hey, Cody.
And yeah.
One other thing, completely off topic, but I know a lot of people, myself included, we're looking forward to the draft. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 27th of April.
Yes.
But for those of you who are also into anime, I know Cody is. The 9th of April, if I'm not mistaken, on Crunchyroll, Demon Slayer, the new arc for Demon Slayer drops on the 9th on Crunchyroll. Just in case you
nice.
So that maybe that can fill you in until the draft.
Nice. Hey, I'm happy you reminded me of that. I had completely forgotten. No, that's what's up. I'm definitely gonna check that out. And me and JD is some big time anime nerds, so hey, I appreciate that, JD. And last but not least, him and love him, Panther Pickle. Appreciate you, buddy, for joining us again. Give us some final words for the podcast, man, and we're gonna jump on out of here.
Whether you're a young fan, a Stroud fan, a Levis fan, an AR fan, a Cam Newton fan, a Hooker fan, it doesn't matter. You're welcome here.
That's it.
You may not be welcome somewhere else, but you're welcome here.
That's right.
You can walk your walk. You can talk your talk. We might not always get along. And you come up here on Friday Free For All, I might even tell you to shut the hell up. I've done that before. But it's all in love.
That's right.
So keep pounding, and I have to say this. I don't want to win one Super Bowl. I don't want to go out and have 2 good seasons and that's it. Sunday I turn 55. I want 5 winning seasons and at least 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I want long-term success. I've been part of this fan base since the get-go, and I've seen them one-year wonders. I've seen you go out and you win, have a winning season, get in the playoffs, get beat, go home, cry. We'll do it next year. You don't.
Yeah.
I want long-term success. Short-term, it only lasts just that short-term.
I think we're close, Pickle. I really do. I think we're so close to building that team that's going to be a contender for years to come, man. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Panther fan. I'm saying it because I feel it in my bones. I feel it. I feel like this is getting ready to happen, man. And I'm so happy that you guys are on this journey with us, man. Listen, for C3 Panther Nation, I am your host, Cody Lashney, 1/3 of the C3 Panthers podcast. We appreciate each and every single one of you. We will be back. We'll be back this Tuesday night at 9 with another edition of the C3 Panthers podcast. Until then, you already know what we're going to do. We're going to keep pounding.
Keep pounding.